All right, set it off, Draco.
Alright, boys, copy Jockers, boys. But yo, this is crazy. If you were here last discussion, right, which I'm assuming you were, a lot of shit that we talked about then happened here, and not even just the last discussion. Over the years, I kept saying Kanki and Osen have this special understanding of each other, and ever since that moment we saw like it's kind of like a callback to that moment when Osen was going after the Locust plant, and Kanki said Osen is the man that if he ever goes on a battle, he does not go on a battle that he can't win. I was expecting something similar back in return for fucking Kanki. So once I saw that initial point where Osen was like, I cannot understand what Kanki is. He's a man. He's the only man that his fucking thoughts elude me. I just felt vindicated because I kept telling people, I kept hyping Kanki's intelligence, I kept hyping Kanki's and Osen's understanding of each other. So for that moment to happen, I just felt really vindicated. And other things happened in the chapter, like people are always saying that Kanki's men are not loyal to him, and we had that answer this chapter. Like, how often do you have to go through like death, like life and death situations with somebody for you to like gain some loyalty there? Like, people are always looking, and they're gonna continue looking. I'm telling you, in the stream, it's gonna happen. They're gonna continue looking for ways to discredit every little inch Kanki gets in terms of portrayal, hype, and goatness, and try to take it back because it threatens their agendas that they have with other characters. And for me, like if y'all like ever hear me talk, it's never I don't have any agendas against other characters. I give everybody their props. I just try to put Kanki in that
Are
conversation
you
too.
done talking in a
I'm a
circle, my
Kanki
nigga?
advocate, okay?
Like, cause then
And then
you
people
just been
always
talking in a circle. Hurry up.
no, I'm not talking in a circle. I'm just giving them my freaking my opening argument. Not even argument, just like my rant. And then I always try to give Kanki like the benefit of the doubt, but it slowly and slowly stops being benefit of the doubt and it starts being manga facts. So I'm just gonna like end it there. All I'm gonna say, this chapter was great. A lot of Kanki shit, a lot of Kanki army characterization that hyped up both sides hard. Did an amazing job. There was some death flags, but still amazing job. I just can't wait to discuss it with these boys, even though some of them, Wale, are huge haters. I keep getting dubs, and they still hate. That's about it.
Okay. All right. You got something to say to that, Twale?
Okay, first off, for the motherfucker that said these two things are mutually exclusive, I love how you conflate and say, oh, because Benrimi said that fucking Conky is gonna do X, Y, Z, and Osen said, well, I'm not sure. Let's wait. You're saying, oh, well, he can't. You know, it's all one and the same. It's all one and the like. I love how you do that. Number one.
Facts
Number
though.
two. Number two. Right. Kanki literally, as far as we know, has put his men, his army, in a fucked position without giving anybody any details of any overarching, higher developing plan. He literally told Maron, nigga, you can't run. Go out there and fight an army, 80,000 to 90,000. You have control, but you can't run.
Okay.
Oh, he's
He
testing
left
their
Luke.
loyalty.
I mean,
Exactly. And that bodies you, and that bodies tone that he just one fucking
wait,
you can't run from Kanki when they're
how does that
facing like
body
when
me?
they're when no
How
no
does
because
that
y'all kept
body me?
saying these dudes are not loyal to him. They're a bunch of bandits. If it
No,
gets
Twally
tough, they're
never
gonna
once
bang
said.
out on him.
Twally,
Jonkins and the fucking
Twally never
viewers
once
all
said that.
heard you say that.
I don't know if
I
he said
never.
that. I know Tone
Okay,
said
Yeah,
that.
Tone might have said that,
I
but
never once
you were
said
on
that
that side.
Kanki's men
You
are
were on
not
that
loyal
side.
to
I'm not
him.
gonna lie to you. Like
I
you were leaning
said,
on that side.
no, shut the fuck up. Because what I said was, if they're in a position where, like they was with Gakue, and they are getting beat, they're gonna blow the fucking whistle, and that's a fact.
That's not the same as running.
That is running. That's literally what they
What
did. They
what
blew
Marin
the
is talking
whistle
about
to
is leaving the
run.
entire like not even fighting this nigga, but like they came back and fought Gakue
So
and
then
them.
how, okay, but how are you gonna sit there and say that we were wrong when Maron himself said, yeah, my nigga, I want to dip. So you
But
can't sit here
it's
and
not about them wanting to dip. They're humans.
but you can't sit here and say that we were wrong
You
when what
were.
we said was, yo, they want to dip. If given
No,
the
so now you're
opportunity,
saying that you agreed to that though. So he said you Don, because he said
I
we.
said the whistle again, dumbass.
They
Said that
said
they will
we,
blow the
nigga. He
whistle
said we.
if they are in a tough position on the
Yeah,
battlefield.
choosing violence to that. I see it bad.
They will blow the whistle to dip. That is what I
They
said.
ain't blowing no
Maron
whistle,
is
bitch
sitting.
ass nigga. You know
Maron
what's
is sitting
happening?
right here. What are you talking about? They didn't blow the whistle against Gakurai?
They're not blowing it now because you know what homie say you can't run. And you know what
How do we know?
stop
How
being
do
like
we know?
disingenuous. You know what I was talking about though, right? You guys kept saying they're a gang
You
of
misconstrued,
bandits.
my nigga, you misconstrued what I said.
Okay, fuck what you said. I'm talking about what Tone said.
Oh, nigga, I'm not Tone. So what the fuck?
I might just address it because it's part of my whole bigger idea. Because a lot
Oh,
of other
he
niggas
didn't know for sure if it was just Tone or if it was you too,
Like, what?
because y'all
My nigga,
usually
I
argue
never
on the same
once-
side and shit.
I never once said that Kanki's men aren't loyal to him. I said if shit gets hard, they will run. And then I also said Kanki will run on them first.
Well, yeah, that's the overall point, because I think it was, we were talking about Yotanwa, and we're like, if he
Yeah.
was in Yotanwa's situation in Ryoyu and he had like a day left of food, then they're gonna retreat. They're gonna fucking
Yeah,
run
they're
away.
gonna
'Cause-
dip on him. They said they're gonna dip on him.
That was Tone's point. My point
Shit's so
was
stupid.
when they were chasing them, and then they got flanked, and then the fucking Ryoyu niggas came out, they would blow the whistle. They wouldn't have fucking took the hill and encountered like Yotanwa did. That was my point. They would have blown the whistle and got the fuck out of there.
I understand your point now, but the greater point I was trying to make is that it's not like
Nigga,
something that
portrayal
happens
means
just
everything
now.
to you. As long as until Kanki's head is literally on the floor, it don't matter because portrayal says otherwise. That's all you say,
Listen,
my nigga.
you always got. You guys
But the
stop with this
portrayal
shit, bro.
says otherwise.
Okay, let's go step by step. To be honest, because I'm just gonna go. The beginning point I was trying to say is like people that are watching this and like Jonkis and you even yourself, Tale, always heard this shit where like Kanki's army, like once it gets tough, like who knows they're gonna stay loyal to him. They're only staying loyal to him now because they're gaining jewelry and they're able to rape women and all that shit. That's the only reason
I was
they're
saying
staying
that too,
loyal.
and I still stand by it.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, say that one more time.
That's what they're saying, right? So like niggas like Jonkis dumbass, let me say that. Kind of got bodied this chapter because this dude was like, we can't run, and that's all it took. And then the fucking write a whole ass speech on why Kangi's charisma is so strong that these dudes basically for lack of a better word,
wait,
worship this
you're
nigga.
taking it as a fact when they haven't even started the battle yet? I'm talking about if it's like a
80
terrible
versus
situation.
240, dog.
I
What
was
do you
just
mean?
gonna say, like the battle
80 versus 240, where they all think they're gonna get wiped out. Like, why do you need to start a battle, bro? They just trust the
Okay,
nigga, bro.
it's different if you think you're about to get wiped out to when you're actually about to get wiped out, and now it's like, oh shit, shit's
Okay, at
kind of
that
changed.
point, there's nothing against Kanki. Like most,
like
it's either staying and dying or leaving. Them leaving makes sense.
Hey, Mobu's men, they stood with him to the very end in Bayo.
Yeah, those were not even his men. There was some farmer. That's crazy.
That's how much of that nigga Mobu is.
Yeah,
but that's the thing though. Rhino in this very chapter said, "Yo, the booze and shit that we was drinking when we were just regular bandits tasted better than the booze we drink now as soldiers."
Yeah.
So if that's not an indication that he wants to go back to the bandit life and say fuck this military shit, I don't know. I don't really see what your point is.
No, he was the only reason he said that wasn't because he was a bandit back then. The only reason he said that was because he came from nothing and Kanki gave him something. So for him, the first time he was thirsty for something and he got it, will always taste the best. But for someone like Kanki, it's like a whole analogy with Kanki's character. He can get wherever he wants. He can win. He can get as rich as he wants. He can get as many bitches as he wants. He can like get as many boosts as he wants. It's just not enough for him. And that's what the whole point was. What is consuming Kanki to keep fighting, and what is he chasing? Like his goals were analogous to like the thirst. What is he thirsty for? That's the whole thing they were saying. He wasn't saying that like what's his name? I want to go back to being a bandit. They're just saying
no.
We got.
That. But
We're
this is what I'm saying.
Full basically. We're full.
Shut up. This is what I'm saying, bro.
Why did you say shut up to me in the middle of my point, dog? What's up?
Because you literally cut me off. Because you cut me off to tell me that I was
cut
wrong.
you off?
I never
cut you off. I responded to you.
I never once said that Rhino wanted to go back to being a bandit. All I said was what he said in this chapter. That as a bandit, the shit tasted better. So how are you really going to sit there and deny what the man himself said?
That's cap, though.
How is that cap?
Because you misunderstood what he was trying to say.
But bro, he literally said the times that we were drinking when we were still thirsty, whatever, those drinks, that booze tasted better than this shit we just got from the Zao rich niggas. That's literally what he said.
Okay, that's what he said, but what's like, I gotta always ask you this. What's the point, let's say, like, overreaching point you're trying to make with that? You're trying to say that he wants to go back to being a bandit? Like, that's what I assumed. My bad. I made an ass out of myself. But what's your point?
Because it's kind of like the Naki thing. It's like, yo, the taste with the high shin unit was better, so I'm gonna go with the high shin unit. What I'm saying is there may come a point in time where they're fed up with Kanki. Like this chapter in and of itself, yo, we're gonna ride out with him no matter what. It's like, yo, bro, if they're in the middle of a fight and they look up on the hill and Kanki's just standing there and then he just like leaves, nigga, they're not gonna have the same love for him. But what I'm saying is there's gonna come a point in time where Kanki is gonna do enough that's gonna make them not fuck with him. And this chapter is just alluding to it. When the nigga says shit like, again, the food that we tasted as bandits when we were thirsty tasted a lot better. Now, I'm not hungry for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they have what they want, quote unquote, but Kanki is not enough. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough for Kanki. So at a certain time, it might be enough for Maron. It might be enough for Ryder.
I think it's a good point actually, but it could go either way because on one hand you're right that when they first experience that feeling, like it's better, it's more special than now that they're used to it. But on the other hand, they're like, all right, now even though it doesn't taste as good, he's still Kanki, he's still thrilling, he's still unpredictable. So it's like another feeling that they're looking forward to, just like what's gonna come out of this.
They're having fun. Like he said, isn't he the best?
The problem is they're not having fun.
They are. Rido just said he's
Rido is one person out of the fucking
he's a big voice. He's a big voice.
He's
a big
one
leader.
person though, bro.
Big voice for a big person.
Yeah, Kokyo is in love with Kanki. Marin always bitches, but he's always there.
I'll be back.
I don't know anything about Rengoku, but like he seems like he's a Kanki. He was giving Kanki back rubs. Like,
bro, Rengoku was the dude that agreed with Maron. Rengoku was the one that was like, yo, if it's up to us, why can't we just dip? So again, not all Kanki's meant, like, real shit, Rido was the only one that was like, nigga, fuck out of here, we gonna do what Kanki says.
Yeah, but he's a leader, he's a voice.
No, he's not.
He always has given that voice that he's a leader.
But literally, Kanki put Maron in charge.
Yeah, so for strategy.
So then how can you say Rido is the leader?
Why are you acting like there can't be multiple leaders in the army?
There can't be. Like, that's, like,
what?
Come on, bro.
Do you notice that every time there's a discussion?
Like, there's one leader.
Okay,
Kanki is the leader of his army. Like, you're not gonna argue that.
I know, but within the cohorts of the commanders,
but I'm saying, and if Kanki, the leader, the de facto leader, said Maron is in charge, you cannot turn around and say, well, yeah, Rido is the leader. Like, no.
No, I just think no. It's like you could tell that Rengoku and Kokyu have some passive personalities in these discussions. And then always Marin and Ryder are the two opposite sides to always discuss, like, should we do this or should we do that? So those two are the voices of the commanders, basically, Marin and Ryder. That's what they're always going at it. They're two sides of the like same coin almost. One guy wants to do something, the other guy wants to do something. And you always notice Marin always says that we're gonna die, but he's still here. Ryder said we gotta believe in Kanki, he's still here. And I told you they're both voices and they're like leaders of the inner people, basically. That's my whole point. So if Rido shuts it down, Rengoku's gonna follow. Kokyo is gonna follow because they don't really care. Those guys are. I mean, Rengoku cares, but as soon as Rido said, "We gotta go," he didn't raise any other complaints. Feel me? So like,
I like stopped it midway, but like another thing is that it's not just because Rido's saying it. Like he kind of inspired them in general.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's like, do you agree, Jonkins, that it's like he and Marin are kind of like the voices of like the inner commanders? They're always arguing over like two different sides of things, and like if those two come to an agreement, everybody else follows. Because it seems like Kokyu and the other guy are just kind of passive in what they do, and Zeno doesn't really care. So like if Rido's kind of like a de facto leader in terms of like their Moran, like,
well, Zeno could barely talk, but
yeah,
I'm saying Zeno wasn't even there. And again, Maron is going to these niggas with the plan of, nigga, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. Rido's only a pink nigga, we're gonna fight. Yes, my nigga, having the spirit to fight is great. But when you're fighting 80,000 versus 240,000, just having the spirit to fight is
not just the spirit. Does he convince them due to like telling them
with spirit, nigga? He used spirit.
Exactly. It's morale boosting. Okay.
Well, at the end of the day, to answer your question, I think like they probably have equal standing, but yeah, those two decide to get into it more.
Yeah, and they're voices in my because the other two are like more passive. That's my whole point. What's his name? Rengoku and them were thinking. Marin always takes a stance of leaving, but he's still here. And then he has very, very high respect for Kanki. Like he says this shit, but we know, like, I feel like Marin would die on the hill for Kanki. Same with Rido. Like he is always a guy that's like, ever since, like, I feel like the speech is kind of reminiscent of what Kanki did to them in Kokyo Hills when they were like, that was the first and last time that Rido doubted Kanki almost. And ever since he's been like a champion of like believing in what, like following Kanki to like the last hill basically. So for
That's
him to
true.
like
And like
say,
even going further back than that, when Raido was like riding them in coalition,
yeah,
like Kanki was like telling him like, "Don't worry, Raido, stop being such a worry wart." And
yeah.
that was kind of the thing with Marin and Raido, where Marin was shitting on Raido for being the guy that worries too much.
Yeah.
And like,
Maron, I mean,
And now it's kind of flipped.
yeah. What are you gonna say, Twale?
like Raido would die on the hill for Kanki. Maron wouldn't.
Maron
Maron
would,
is
bro.
dipping. Maron's dipping the
Marin is
first chance
definitely
he
dying on the hill.
gets.
I feel like you underestimating how loyal Marin is. Marin like seems like he's been around Kanki for so long, and he's always
Bro,
been
he
in this
said
shit
himself,
situation.
fucking, if it's bad
Bro,
at the Gil situation, I'm dipping. Like, good luck.
And,
right.
and he didn't
He
dip.
only
It was
he only
bad.
stayed because
It was not that bad.
they got saved.
He always
Like
says he's
Osen and
dipping, bro. But I'm telling you, like a nigga that always speaks like that, is like, and he still stays there, like he's not dipping, bro. He's all talk.
bro. The only reason why he didn't dip at the Gil situation was because Osen arrived to save them. If they had to fight a fresh Raboku army, Maron is
Wow,
dipping,
Austin
bro.
saved them, not right on his own troops. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
nigga,
neither here or
Osen
there.
saved them.
Yeah, with the food, I know I mess with you.
I
But
was
listen, let's just
Not
like
even,
go.
not
Like,
even with the food.
like I was just about to
when
say
did he
it's
save
not
him? Was
even
what then?
By
like
stalling
simply.
out most of
I was
Riboku's
about to say
army?
stalling
Have
out,
those
stalling
armies
out,
were still at heart. Like they have to do all the work themselves. You know, the
bro.
origin
And
shit.
did you
Raboku's
forget about, like, the
army.
majority of the army that Osen was fighting?
I'm about to say
Yeah,
you forgot
but
about
the Rebellion
Kisui,
army and the origins.
Bati.
Okay, I'm
You
not
forgot
getting into
about
whatever.
Kisui, Bati, Banaji, all of which were not fighting Kanki. So they must have been fighting Osen. You forget the fact that Osen was pursuing Raboku throughout the night before he even got to Gyo, which made Raboku's army tired for Kanki. You're excluding all of that.
What about this right now, where he's like, oh, like this situation got really bad. And he's still here. Like he was saying, yeah, we gotta retreat.
They're
There's no
not
way we're
here
winning
yet.
this. They're here.
No, they're not. They said in this chapter they're a day, like a half a day away.
Wait, no,
So they're
what?
like
They showed the entire like
at
of
the
it looking
end,
on each
bro.
other.
They haven't fought yet. They're not in any type of fighting. You
I
know what
know,
I'm
but they're
saying?
like lined up across from each other.
Oh, so you thinking I'm saying Marron was gonna run, but before Kocho got there? Like
I thought he
no,
was. Like nigga, he said we gotta go. We're gonna die. There's no way we're
when
living. He had no
when the
faith.
shit gets bad.
But I think fucking Marin's kind of a masochist, bro. He tries to think that he's not, but he thrives off the situation. He's gonna come up with a plan. But like a greater thing, this whole plan shit, like it's obvious that like whenever Kanki tells Marin to make a plan, the plan itself that he's making is not really anything, just giving him something to do. And the whole thing is gonna be that plan as a whole like a fake for what Kanki actually plans on doing. So like it's
I
not like
mean, I can agree with that because that's what he did with the hills.
yeah, he does
The
it all the
the
time. So
the
like for him,
plan was to take.
that should give you a hint that he's going after Kosho's head, bro. So these numbers for Kanki
I
don't mean
said that.
shit.
I said last week he was going after Kocho's head. But
Yeah, but like
again, I also said last week if they kill Kocho, but Kanki loses his whole army, it's an L for Kanki, nigga.
it won't happen like that, bro. Unless Revoku comes and wipes him out, but that's about it. The Kosho's not wiping out his army.
All right, like
And
let's segue. Let's segue. We've had enough about this. We'll get back to it when we actually go to that moment.
yeah, I was about to
So
say that too.
yeah,
Like,
let's go back to the beginning of the chapter. You good, Twale? You like
Yeah, nah,
fucking
I'll
opening up a candy bar or something?
Oh no, I'll put my phone in my pocket, which does have a candy bar in it, actually, yes.
Okay. But yeah, so the beginning of the chapter. Did you guys like the dynamic between the Osen army? I know this is something we fabricated, but we were kind of like making jokes about like if Aiko big boys these guys, and that's not the case at all. Which puts
very
some hype on
respectful.
Denrimi and So. Oh yeah, it
No,
shows
listen,
Aiko to not really
exactly.
be arrogant of his position either.
For sure. Like it made me
I
like
mean,
Aiko more because like he understands what his job, and it's like he understands their job, and it's like just a whole collaborative effort. I feel like
not for
Austin.
nothing.
I
He
feel
was
like I
kind
feel
of
like you
big
can
body
really.
in them.
No, I feel like you could tell easily that Akko and Austin were the top two because those two were just talking. They're just like watching the pot almost.
And
Like
I like that
literally.
little touch when he said, "I'm not sure," and fucking Denrimi and So they're like, "Nani," but like Aiko doesn't have a reaction because he's always the guy that's like just
I told
super
this nigga
calm.
Twale. This is what we're arguing about, bro.
They are not
Would you say
shook,
that
bro.
shook?
Like they're not shook, bro. They had a moment of, oh, he doesn't know. Okay, like my nigga, you acting like they got sweat beads dropping down their face, like they're mad nervous. You acting
Yeah,
like
they
they're
didn't have
Walmart
sweat
right
beads or
now, nigga.
anything.
They're just
I
like,
never said that
oh,
to Shook. I never said sweat beats, but like I agree
bro,
with
you
you.
literally said in the text, in the fucking Discord, you literally said they're shook. Look
Well,
how
when
shook
someone
they are.
says shook, they could have like
Yeah.
5 different meanings for shook.
Yeah, thanks.
No, shut the no, nigga, no. If you say they shook, that
Listen,
means
but going
you
back to what you're
insinuating
saying,
that they scared.
your
That
mic
they're
is very low
nervous
right
or that
now,
they're
Father.
worried.
Yeah, your mic is pretty low.
Try to turn them up.
What I'm saying
on your
is,
desktop so that you can hear it faster, or more on like the stream or whatever.
yeah, that's true. What I'm saying is when people say shook, like it can mean like a level above, like very surprised, or it could mean from like about to shit their pants. Like that's just how people talk.
My nigga, Draco's trying to make it seem like these niggas is scared shitless.
What? No, I'm not.
He
That's
said
it,
what?
nigga. That's exact, bro. If I have to pull up what you exactly like, yo, bro, look how shook they are. They are
That's
mad
it.
shook.
That's all
Like,
I said.
nigga, how are they mad shook, nigga? They don't even have the big eyes. They have no sweat beads. They're chilling, and you're saying
Nigga,
they're
Soul's
shook.
mouth is
Like,
half open, dog. He's like gasping. But
it
yo,
says Soul's mouth is half open, nigga. He's talking. Like, what the fuck?
What, you don't talk with your mouth closed?
That's what I'm like. Yo, Draco's
nah. He's no. Even when
This
they were like
nigga's
not
literally,
talking,
this nigga's literally saying not sure, and you're like, oh, but his mouth is open.
they had
He's
the
talking.
exclamation.
Like,
Okay, this is like irrelevant. Either way, my whole point was. My whole point
Oh,
was
yeah,
man.
get bodied and say your point is irrelevant.
how did I get bodied? It's fucking
Cause
like
you said,
semantics, bro.
bro,
You
you're
think shook
saying they're
as a
shook.
surprise?
How is there,
You mean the
nigga? They're
same
not even
thing,
surprised, bro.
nigga? Is
Okay,
exclamation
no,
point.
they're definitely
Okay, then
surprised.
Remy is. Then Remy is. Then Remy is surprised. He had the exclamation point. So was like not sure, just questioning it.
Who
That's
even
not a
did
surprise.
have exclamation point?
Like, I said, then Remy has the exclamation point.
So is Soul.
No, he doesn't.
When he says
He's
observe
literally.
Kanki for the time being, like he hasn't given him a plan. Like what, nigga? Not the I'm not sure
So
part,
wait,
but the first part.
so you're saying that they're shook because they're gonna observe Kanki?
That's unlike that's unlike him, man. Osen always has like a plan,
My
an
nigga,
action. But
you
yo,
like
my whole point
okay.
was when I was
You
mentioning
always
this
talk
was
about
like
how people try to downplay Kanki, and you use shit like this to try to wow. Okay.
no down. I don't like niggas like I had this whole rant in the beginning. Niggas know like I'm only here to just give his dude credit, you know. And most of the times I prefaced it by saying benefit of the doubt. But like I said, benefit of the doubt is going out the window. It's minor facts.
To
But
be
listen,
fair, that would be a situation you'd be surprised about because obviously with Kanki being in a bad situation, you would want to take advantage of it ASAP.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's just standing there for the time being, it is like,
Exactly.
what? What's happening?
We're gonna
that kind of like
this is Osen, my
that
nigga.
was such a good
This
setup
is, but,
in my
this
opinion.
is Osen, right? This is Osen. The nigga we know, like Hakuki, does not jump at every little good-looking bait. So yes, he's gonna wait for it to develop to see how good the bait
Not like
is.
this. The whole nigga left.
What are you talking about, bro? Like this nigga Osen is
What were you
literally
saying last week, dog?
that I literally said, okay, listen, I literally said, if Osen feels that this is a great opportunity, yes,
Yeah, I
he
said
will
it was a
come.
great opportunity though.
And no, I didn't. I said it was a stupid opportunity for Kojo. I never said it was great for Quinn.
Why is this stupid for opportunity for Kosho? Because Osen could have taken
Because-
advantage of it, right?
No, because I said Osen and Yotawa. Because
Yotawa ain't
given
doing shit,
the information that we had at that point, nigga, there was nobody in the middle. I didn't know Kojo had over 200,000 niggas to fight Kanki. Like, there's a lot of information that we just got, bro.
I kept telling you that there's Kanki is also fighting hard people, so like add that to
Oh,
Kosho
Kanki
to
was
be harder.
nigga. Kanki was at a deficit of 10,000. Like that's it. Kojo came with 150. They totaled 210, which means that there was 90,000 before Kojo came here. Which means
A lot of men.
Kanki was fighting 90,000 to fucking 80,000. And you're like, oh, that's a lot of men. That's
No,
a
if you
good
add it to the no, that's a lot of men in itself, and if you add the 150, it's like damn near impossible to beat. But also, what about the part? Okay, this is going chronological order. I'm gonna just tell you what I liked about this part, and it alludes to what Jonkins was saying. I just felt like it was such a good setup to hype up Kanki that they had these two trying to like think about what Kanki will do. So had his side, Darima had his side, kind of showing like kind of levels to this in a sense. And even like the Remy said, if I know Kanki, then his real aim, which like in itself kind of sets him up to like you don't really know Kanki, nigga, calm down. So for then Osten, the guy that knew him the best, to say that you can't really understand this nigga, it just shows the contrast and experience with Kanki that these people have, and the contrast of
like you
understanding
always
of
ask
Kanki.
me, my nigga, what's the point? What's your point, my nigga?
No, I'm just
Please don't
showing.
say
Just
portrayal.
for portrayal's sake, for hype's
Oh my
sake, that was a
God,
good way
this
of
nigga-
doing it. Like,
Do you have
like
anything other for Kanki other than portrayal, my nigga? Because that's literally all you say.
and feats,
Portrayal this, portrayal that.
But
Portrayal
portrayal
this,
carries him for now
portrayal,
because he hasn't had the
because he
feats that
has
like Osen
nothing
has.
else, nigga.
Oh,
That's the
not
point,
the
nigga.
same. That's you
You keep
being
sucking
that's you
dick
being a hater.
because a nigga has nothing else. Like that's my problem, bro.
That's
At least when
fine.
I
That's fine if you talk
say,
about
yo,
portrayal.
Osen did this, Osen did that, I can bring up feats, nigga. He bodied Ordo, nigga. He made a fool out of
So
Ritmar,
listen,
nigga. He bodied
you
Goku,
kind of
nigga.
just fell
All
into
you,
my trap. And
all
not really
you
my
got
trap.
is Kanki
Not
got
even really my
portrayal.
trap. But what did I say at the beginning?
Like my nigga.
What did
That
I say
shit
at the
is so
beginning? I
annoying.
said niggas always try to discredit Kanki because if it kind of threatens their agenda. I wasn't even talking about Osen
What
yet.
agenda?
I've
Agenda,
left
my nigga?
I've left Osen at the top of the mountain. He's the GOAT, right? Besides Rimpa. I left him at the top. I'm not even talking about it. I'm trying to like talk about these other niggas that are making their way towards them. And you're so threatened by that you gotta bring up all of Osen's feats like I care.
Anything, bro.
Before we go further into this, let me relate it to another situation. So Osen, hold on, Twale. Osen with Riboku, when that like random fodder guy was like, "This is weird for Riboku to do something meaningless," and Osen's like, "He's not the type to do something meaningless." So he's saying like the smarter the person is, the more they're gonna give the guy the benefit of the doubt because they understand where his level's at and like where his head's at in general. So he's like saying it's showing that there's level to this with like Soho. He doesn't really understand the point of this. And then Denrimi, he's thinking about it as Kanki's going to take advantage of this, and then Kocho's going to go back and, you know, Kanki's going to then get the easy pickings. And then Osen, even thinking a step ahead of that, he's like, we can't be sure of that because, you know, Kanki's even more unpredictable than that because we don't really know who he is as a person. So he's just saying, like, it's showing the levels to it, and, like, the higher up you are in the intelligence spectrum, like, the more you have to give Kanki his respect.
No, I don't. I don't have to respect Kanki until he actually does something.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about the manga, nigga, obviously.
Oh, I was about to say, like,
yeah, like you can, like it was funny to me. The was like the way I know Kanki, like I bet like in Osen's head, like nigga, what? Oh, Kanki, the fuck you talking about? I even don't know Kanki. Like, what do you say? I mean, he knows Kanki, but I understand.
Given the situation that we're in, my niggas, like let's be real. Kanki's not about to pull a fucking nuke out of his ass. So
I know, which makes me anxious.
All right. So hold on. Right? His only choices are to withdraw, not fully run away, but withdraw from this situation because 200,000 going against 80,000 is not smart. It's just not. Or Kanki fucking dicks, nigga. There's no way he's gonna just outright beat these niggas in a straight up fight. That is one, not his army's forte, and two, they are vastly outnumbered.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that.
He pretty much has to get to Kocho.
Yeah, that's the only way.
And my nigga, this is what we were saying last week. This is what me and Tone were saying last week, my nigga. If Kocho comes down here with over 200,000 and gets killed, that's trash for him, not hype for Kanki.
What? That's just you just glass half full instead of glass half empty instead of glass half full mentality.
No, because again, my nigga, he had no reason to come down here the way he did, unless he thought that he could just wipe Kanki out super quick, which we all agree is stupid for him to think.
Wait, time out. Are you actually going back to last chapter's argument, even though we have literal proof that this man has 240k versus 80k in itself should wipe out Kanki? Rihaku said he's scarier than Kanki. Like all this shit, like he had plans and all that.
Yo, this is my thing,
and
right?
he also has plans. He has counter plans. Let's say he can't wipe up Kanki. Let's say Kanki retreats.
Like Rihaku said that he's somebody.
It's the author building him up. By the way, it's just not Rihaku himself saying. The author is building him up.
You could have used somebody better.
And Twale, look, even like, and we were also talking about this, right? You kept saying that, oh, like not you. I'm not gonna keep. Either you or Tone. Cause I'm not trying to get back into the argument. Either you and Tone were saying that he has to beat him in a day or two because Osen is gonna take that shit. But we even see Denrimi saying it's gonna be a struggle to go through him, and we're gonna take losses to go through him. So it's like a tough proposition in its own. And they also mentioned that Kocho can always come back if he's so outnumbering Kanki, and if Kanki decides to retreat at any point, and if he doesn't even decide to retreat, he can always come back and we're fucked. It's 150,000 in our back. So it's kind of like fucking him up in a way like Kosho is in a position to where he
It's
can
not as
attack
dumb as
Kanki.
it seemed last week, but it's still stupid unless he gets it done quickly.
It seems like Kosho got it all on the wraps. Like if I attack
What?
Kanki, wipe him out, he retreats. I go back and wipe out Osten. Like he has kind of the like because he's in the kind of place in the middle of both of them. And they also talk about how like the army
because Kanki is gonna just let himself get wiped. Like again, bro. I'm not saying that Kanki is just gonna get wiped out. All I'm saying is he purposely put his people in this position to get wiped out. Like that's a high possibility right now because Kanki is just doing Kanki with no plan, with no like, oh yo, Maron, do this unless if this happens. No, he didn't give them any of that. He literally sent home to a terrain disadvantage area and said fight. Literally sent these niggas to a number disadvantage and said fight. And all I'm saying is, even if it breaks even, Kanki's army gets wiped out, but they kill Kocho, nigga. I'm still calling it an L for Kanki because he put this into motion and lost his army. What the fuck is a great general without an army, my nigga? Explain that to me.
Are you good, bro? Okay, listen.
Are you good? And can you answer that question? What is a great general without their army?
Bro, he's not getting wiped out. Like, conventional thinking would make you think that he gets wiped out. But listen, right? This is a good point for me to bring this
Answer my
up.
question.
Okay, what's a great general without the army? He can replenish armies, by the way. Okay, and here's another thing, right?
What?
He can replenish armies, bro.
Kanki's bandit-specific army can be replenished?
They always keep dying, and they always come back with more men. But listen,
okay.
But listen, that's not the point.
My point is, fuck, but whatever.
If you like, I don't know why even thinking about it that way. We all know that Kanki is in a disadvantageous situation. We all know there's a high possibility that he wins. So I'm like going back to what you were saying. You think he's in such a bad situation, heavily outnumbered. So right now, if Kanki wins this fight and doesn't have as much losses as you are anticipating, there's nothing more you can say. The way you're setting this up to be is like you're making it be like the greatest feat of all time. So next time you have this conversation,
the way I'm setting it up makes it seem no, nigga.
Yes, because you're saying he's heavily outnumbered. He put his team in a position to get wiped out, and let's say he kills Kosho, and his team doesn't get wiped out like the way you're thinking. That means he was very disadvantaged, and he was able to topple that disadvantage and go even above it. So in just like a non-context version of that, of what exactly what happens, that feat should be an amazing feat. And next time we talk, Twale, I don't want you saying you all talk about his portrayal, by the way. Because you yourself got to be hyping up Kanki if it happens. And I know it will happen.
I have other things to use, my nigga. All you use is portrayal. And that's what gets me so frustrated because you literally sat here for like 20 minutes. Yo, Osen can't read Kanki. That's hype portrayal. Then Remy said, that's hype portrayal. No feats, nigga. No feats. No actual
we were literally talking about that part of the chapter.
Nigga, but that's the problem. No, because we were starting this before we was talking about this in the chat before we even got into the VC, Jockins. And this nigga's like, oh, well, they're mad shook. That's hype for Kanki. Like, literally everything he says is just to circle around for why it's hype for Kanki. And that shit is so annoying when Kanki hasn't done anything yet.
But I mean, the entire chapter was built up for hype for Kanki. What do you mean?
No,
of course you're going to be talking about hype for Kanki.
Never say it, but the chapter really wasn't. If you really think about it, the chapter was more built up. It's hype for Kanki because we think he's going to pull it out of his ass some crazy way. But this chapter was really hyping up Kocho, not Kanki.
Why?
Because Kocho, like you said earlier, Kocho put Osen and Kanki in a position where neither one of them can just move. He's attacking fucking Kanki where he's heavily outnumbered, has the terrain advantage. We got the hype for, even though I personally think the nigga's trash, we got the hype, like you said, we got the hype from Coach and Ryu. Hara himself is hyping up Kocho. So, no, this chapter was more for Kocho than it was for Kanki.
Did you say it was still dumb what Kocho did?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I said it was I said personally it's less stupid than what I thought last week.
It's not stupid but it's at all.
But yeah, what makes it stupid?
The way you set it up, you make him seem like a genius, by the way. That is stupid.
Nah, it's stupid because, again, he cannot guarantee that he's going to beat Kanki so quickly. Even with even with the advantage, he's not going to beat Kanki this quickly. And then he doesn't have anybody watching Osen. So if he's in the, like, again, Osen said, yo, we can't do it because he'll just retreat. But how can he retreat if he's in the middle of fighting fucking Kanki? You know what I'm saying?
Great
So it's
advantage
not a
and
great.
I
It's
mean,
not really a
he has
great
he
plan.
has a shit ton of money. He can just delegate
yeah,
his reserves.
exactly. Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, whoever he sends is not going to be enough interference for
Numbers is
Osin,
pincer. It's a pincer.
Akko. I still don't see it. I
But
still
yeah,
don't see
the
it.
point is, if they're sieging a city, then it's going to be pretty hard to siege a city while being pincered. But if they
And
try to
also,
pincer
the
the
other
Kocho
city would
army,
pincer you
then
too. They said
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, but no one's accounting for Yotanwa, who's on the other side of
she's
that
not a
other
player.
city.
She's not a player
What?
in this area. It seems like the way they're talking about it is that Ocean is the only person that's like can take advantage of it. And even mentioning it, Tom would take advantage of this. It seems like she's already like very has her hands full by some other people.
But that
They
was me
didn't.
and Tone's point, bro. Is
What?
that he left. He went from the middle where he could observe and overvey everything to the left side, his right side, or whatever, where Kanki is at, to where it limits his field of view. If Yotanwa was doing something, nigga, he wouldn't know about it because he's on Kanki's side. That was our whole point.
Yeah, but listen, Twale, next chapter again is gonna if they mention Yatawa, they're gonna say this, right? Either way, this man left the central, right? But at the same time, he's still secure in the center due to like the situation that you outlined with him, and he also probably has something similar with Yatawa as well, because neither Kanki nor Osin mentioned Yatawa taking advantage of this. It was either Kanki or Osin taking advantage of it.
Again,
So there has
she's
to be a
not gonna
reason for
take
that.
advantage
There's a
because
reason for
she's
that,
on
right?
the opposite side, my nigga. She's not gonna take advantage of Kocho fighting Kanki, but she could take advantage of Osin fighting what, Rihaku and
Ocean is
coaching
not
Ryu.
moving, by the way. Ocean is not moving, so like there in
I
itself should
said
tell you
if he moves, my nigga.
he won't
He
though.
said he literally said we're gonna wait to see.
Okay, yeah, you're
That's
right.
not like come on, my nigga.
Yeah,
That's not like come on, my nigga.
I
Stop. Like
know
stop.
he's okay. Listen, he's
You
waiting and
literally
seeing, right?
sound
But
like
what?
okay, waiting and seeing. And if during this fight, Kanki gets the upper hand for 2 seconds, and Osin's like, "Yep, that's enough. We're going." What's your
Yep.
point? He said we're gonna wait and see. So he waited, saw, and then
Okay, and
moved.
that has nothing to do with Coach being dumb though. That shows Kanki
Does
being amazing.
because if
He can take the upper advantage.
Kocho has to like he's the commander in chief. He has to be the one that's overseeing everything. So if he goes to one side, only is only dealing with Kanki and Osin and completely Yotanwa to her own devices. Whatever Yotanwa does is Kocho's fault.
Trust me, Tom was on our own devices already. Same way
You
Kanki
don't
was fighting his own people. Like Coach
again,
had nothing to do with it.
right? But now that Kocho is here, right?
Yeah, that
He's
doesn't change the Tom
directly
situation.
because now, like we said last chapter, now that they gonna get, everybody's gonna get this report. So 100 and some odd thousand niggas moving.
Yeah, you're in a
Everybody's
vacuum right
gonna
now. Can't hear you.
He's in the shadow realm.
So, like I was
Say something.
saying, everybody got
Yeah,
the
we hear you now.
report.
All right, well, since he's muted, I'll just go. Like, all right, so yeah, Yotano's having a difficult battle, just like the Yosan army would have to. And the thing is that Kanki, he has two choices. He can either retreat quickly, and in that case, like that's basically what Toy is saying. Like, you can't guarantee that Kanki's fucked, and then you have to deal with Yotano. But if Kanki retreats, then you can just go back, and then it's pretty much the same situation as before.
If Kanki retreats,
okay, can you hear me now?
Move, right? If Kanki retreats, Osin won't move.
Yeah, we can hear
back.
Okay.
Like so, I feel like
what
Coach
I'm
has
saying
under
is,
control.
what I'm saying is, there's no way that Kocho can delegate himself and his forces to 3 battlefields, right? So if
No.
Kanki, wait, hold on. If Kanki moves forward, right, and Kanki is engaging with Kocho, if Osin decides, you know what, this is a good enough position for me to move forward, now whoever in the center has to readjust their men to handle Osin, right? At the same time that Kocho was going to Kanki and Osin got the report, I'm pretty sure Yotanwa got a report that Kocho was moving the bulk of his forces. So she could change up her fighting style and press more heavily. It was stated last chapter that Kanki had the most aggressive charge. And they literally said it in this, that you know what I'm saying, that was part of the thing that backfired. So if she makes her charge more aggressive, and they already diverted people to Kanki with Kocho, and then they diverted people to Osin, nigga, who's stopping Yotanwa?
Let me ask you a question, Twale. Why do you think in the past 2 chapters when they were talking about possible scenarios, They never mentioned Yatanwa as a possible threat to come in and take. They said Osen will push through. This week they're saying it's either Kanki or Osen that will push through. They changed positions.
Because from Kanki's position, Osen was the one that was a lot closer.
Yeah.
Osen is also the one that Kanki's army has worked the most with, or at least around. So it's a lot easier for you to make assumptions as to what Osen might do, as opposed to the Mountain Tribe, which,
Okay.
like you know what I'm saying, they maybe had that Yo arc with, and I'm not entirely sure if they like if Yotamwa and Osen and them actually like I assume that they had some type of dialogue after the whole GG ceremony or whatever, but we're not sure. So you know what I'm saying, in the middle of this important war, I'm not gonna assume what somebody's gonna do 2 battlefields, maybe 3 battlefields over, as opposed to the person who's right next to me.
But you're making the assumption seem like it's like the most obvious thing in the world. Like obviously, if they're with Kanki, then Yotanwa's gonna push. So why wouldn't they assume that?
No. Again, I'm not saying Yotam was going to push because they're with Kanki. I'm saying Yotam was going to push because Osen pushed. And they're going to have to adjust for Osen pushing. So if Osen makes a move based on Kanki's move, and now Osen is in a great position, Yotam would then be in a better position because they will have less men to guard her because they already said 150 to Kanki, and then they're going to readjust whoever they have to send to Osen. You know what I'm saying? Like Val doesn't have unlimited motherfuckers.
That's the same thing at the end of the day because she knows Osen's gonna push as well, or at least that would be the assumption you'd make. So they're like, we'll both push, and whoever catches the flack, then the other person gets the easier road, and we take advantage of it.
But that's all about timing, and that's what I'm saying. It comes down to the timing. That's why I'm saying Kojo just coming to the left. It makes more sense now given the numbers, and I'm guessing with the hype that he's gotten around, he's a fighter general, not just a strategist type general. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not entirely sure.
That's about to be sick. Who's gonna fight him?
Like the way it's looking, my nigga, it's like again, it's not as dumb, but it's like you're leaving yourself very open for other people. It's not, like again, his only opponent isn't just Kanki. He still has Yotama and Osen.
All right, but here's the thing. So regardless, in that scenario, Yotama was still supposedly a big player in your mind, but she's asking why she wasn't brought up because again, like it would be obvious that she would push.
Because she, like I said, they went after Kanki because he was making the most headway. Like it was literally stated why they went after Kanki.
Not about that. Like why didn't they mention Yatanwa is also another player that they can push? That's assumption that you're making. The way you phrased it is pretty simple. They gotta attack in a similar amount of time.
I don't get who's making this assumption.
You making the assumption that Yatanwa will attack.
No, I'm saying, but who's not making? I'm saying like who who are you saying should be making this assumption?
Kanki or Osen are not making that assumption, and you said like it's due to them like having like worked with Yatanwa. I mean, you're worked with each other, so they kind of understand what they're doing. But Jockeys himself said the assumption itself isn't that big of an it's not that complex, so that it's kind of irrelevant in the reasoning for making that assumption. Is a smart choice, like you're saying, for Yatanwa to also move. But for some reason, Kanki and Osen did not anticipate her moving, or didn't even mention Yatanwa moving.
I just gave you the reason why Kanki, nigga, again, 2 whole battlefields. I'm not worried about what she's doing.
I feel like
I don't think that's valid at all to just not worry about it. And then what Denrimi was saying about we'll get pincered by the cities, like that shouldn't be a thing if Yotan was attacking at the same time and then she pincers the pincer.
That's a fact. That's a good point. Even think of
that. What are you saying? Like Yotan was not gonna.
There's something going on with Yotan that we don't know.
Well, basically, I think at the end of the day, Drickle's just saying that Osen's better than Yotawa, so he's going to have a easier time making it to the cities. And so she's going to be delayed by however much time. We don't really know.
It could be that, or it could be she's facing way harder circumstances that allow her to not move as freely as Osen. But either way, Yotawa, I feel like is not a player in this pushing a center type situation.
Well, I think she'll eventually be a player, but the main thing is that...
That's stupid as fuck. Niggas say Yotawa's
not this dude.
Be a factor.
For some reason, they're anticipate her being a factor. You got to take that into account, Twale. Like, why aren't they not talking about, okay, Yatanwa, like, let's say we get pincer, Yatanwa, we got to have her back, all that, etc. For some reason, they're not.
Literally, why not?
What?
One, they're so far away that whatever she could possibly does won't affect Kanki's battle. know Yotawa and her army like that to rely on them in this high stakes war. 3, we don't know what she's doing, so she could be doing something else very important to the war. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just assuming.
I agree with
that,
part 3.
But we're
like,
talking about
she's
Denrimi.
It was literally stated that all 3 armies came back to Zao, and y'all saying nah, she's not here because
no one is saying that.
No, we're talking about Denrimi when he said we'll take advantage of that by pushing, but we can't do that because we'll get pincered by the cities. In your exact scenario, you said if Osen army pushes, then Yotanwa pushes. Yeah, but there is no pushing in too far if Yotan was there, and she's gonna fuck him if you try to fuck with the Osen army.
You're assuming that they're all stacked next to each other. Like, no. There's a considerable distance in between each army. So it's like they have to get reports. They have shit has to develop first. It's not like, oh, fucking Kanki's fighting. So at this exact moment while Kanki's fighting, Osen's fighting. It's like, no, my nigga, that shit takes time to develop. Niggas get reports. Niggas say shit like, I don't get what you guys are saying. Like,
well, hold on. They already got the reports, and they're like just like the Kanki army predicted. They're gonna predict how long it takes Culture to get there, and then they're gonna know when they're gonna fight ahead of time.
But so they got the report, and like say that again because I kind of cut out.
They got their reports. They said they're gonna be there in half a day, so they already know ahead of time when the battle's gonna start, so they can move ahead of time. Because they predict how long it's gonna take Culture to get there.
Ahead of time.
You're cutting out.
Like Osen's not gonna move unless he knows for sure how the battle is gonna unfold. You know what I'm saying?
But that's because he's taking something into account that we're not sure of. So, like in Denrimi's situation, before he even knew that, he thought, okay, we could do this, but it's just gonna leave us to get pincered by the Culture army, and even if that doesn't happen, it's gonna be difficult, and that could lead to that happening because we can get pincered by the cities too. What I'm saying is, if they're pushing, and the Yotanwa's pushing at the same time, then they should get there around the same time, and then they can't get pincered by the cities because, of course, Yotanwa's men are gonna be there. And
that's assuming one, they're coming from an equal distance away. That's assuming that the terrain in between the cities and all of that is the same. Like, that's a lot of assumptions you're making, bro.
I mean, we saw the map. It was comparable distance. Like, it wasn't like anything special.
But we also saw that there's mountains, hills, woods, and shit like that. It's not just, again, they're not so close to each other that they're like army wings distance. You know what I'm saying? Kanki has 3 army wings, so it's like they're not that close. And again, to them, you're making it seem like, oh, well, because Denrimi didn't say, well, yeah, Yotanwa would do this, it's like, oh, well, she's not relevant in this.
It's making me assume that there's something going on in her area that's kind of like making her not be like a direct responder to the stuff happening in Kanki and Osen battles. That's all.
Well, I would find it weird if there was another like big shot general that hasn't been mentioned. It feels like Kocho is like by far and away the only like real big shot there.
It could just be like the terrain, all that shit. Like a lot of stuff could but I just think it's weird they're not mentioning her at all.
Aside from like weird terrain, the only explanation there really is that she just doesn't have the strength to get there as fast as Osen's army can. Because the more they push in, the closer they get. And so even then, if
y'all sleeping on her.
Even if they get pincered before Yotanwa can get there, Osen army's gonna survive that, and then they're just gonna buy time for Yotanwa, and then the cities are fucked.
The insane plan commences. That was the last chapter, Linus. Can't wait to see this plan. But yeah, like I just going back to like, the original discussion, I just kind of the way they laid it out this chapter, I think Kocho is anything that happens, he's not stupid at all for what he's doing. It just some people are just better than you.
This nigga's dumb as fuck.
You took like you're just gonna die on the hill, man. Like he's not
dumb. Still dumb, nigga. Like just because your plan has 1 or 2 good points to it doesn't make it not dumb.
So he's already facing 3 dudes. I mean 2. I don't know about Yotanwa. 2 goats, and then Yotanwa, and he's already like kind of giving them some trouble, more trouble than they anticipate. To the point that Osen can't even really move initially because he knows Kocho might fuck him. So like. Either way,
that's cap.
Fuck him could be a lot of things, John. It could just mean like he messes up his army. But
No,
listen,
Ocean is literally the most cautious person, and y'all sitting here praising him because he's being like y'all praising
yeah,
Kojo because
that just
Ocean's
shows,
being
'cause that
cautious.
just shows, what Kocho is doing isn't as easily exploitable as what guys were kind of saying it was. That's the whole point of bringing that up.
Again, we never said it was
Kocho
easily
impressed me.
exploitable. I'm just saying it just seems
Kocho
stupid.
impressed me. Kocho
So
is
so
actually,
wait, doesn't that go hand in hand? Stupid would mean it's easily exploitable.
yeah, that's true.
No, no, not at all.
What?
What?
Explain that.
Just
What do you mean by that?
just because something is easily exploitable doesn't make it stupid.
What?
Who's tone with you, man? I want to see what that nigga thought.
No, like I'm dead.
I'm so confused right now.
Okay, it's like okay, the Kanki plan, right? The Kanki versus Kesha plan. Easily exploitable, but it wasn't a stupid plan.
I mean, I would
A
argue
bit
it's a stupid
reckless.
plan.
You get what I'm saying? It was a bit reckless because like he used the high shin unit as bait, and it was exploitable because yeah, Kesha at any moment during those 2-3 days while they were just standing there could have wiped out the high shin unit, but it wasn't a stupid plan because it literally baited out the hunter into the open. You get me?
Well,
So
easily
just because
exploitable goes into how realistic the person is to come to the conclusion
my
to
nigga,
exploit it.
my nigga, real shit. It honestly, it shouldn't have took them that niggas that long to say, yo, destroy these high shin unit niggas. They only number like 5,000 or something. Kisui,
Yeah,
body these
he was
niggas.
waiting.
Well, hold on, I'm gonna bring like a funny example. Like, imagine, imagine
I'm
like
just
you have
saying,
like
like,
two dice or something or whatever. It's
I'm a
like
definite.
someone's plan is like, all right, this might sound a bit stupid, but they're like, if you pick the right plan, the right dice, you get to save the world. If you don't, then you're doomed. It's like easily exploitable in a sense where if you pick the right one, all you have to do is pick it up, and then you win.
look,
But
a 50-50
like,
chance, nigga, yeah,
yeah,
that is easily exploitable.
yeah, but coming to that conclusion, like it's not like they're gonna have an easy time like coming to a
No,
conclusion, you
but
know?
I'm saying, but look, right? What I'm saying is, when Kanki did nothing, like with the high shin unit, he literally like let them. He used them as bait and was gonna let them be destroyed to get Kesha out. Now the plan was easily exploitable by just simply not sending Kesha to destroy the high shin unit. If Bate and not Bate because he wasn't there yet, but if Kisui and like another elite force goes down there, they get the same job done without risking Kesha. You feel what I'm saying? That's what makes Kanki's plan not so stupid, but easily exploitable.
No, but I've always said that I think that plan was dumb.
See, I don't think the plan was dumb. It's
No, I
only
don't
dumb
think you
if you
said that
care.
plan was dumb. You just said Keisha was dumb for not listening.
Like,
Yeah, but
only
it's dumb to rely on someone being dumb.
That's
I
the
mean,
thing. He's not relying on people being dumb and forever disagree on that. He just made him dumb. No,
I
but
honestly
I
think that
think
that
he
was just
had.
bad writing. Because like there was no reason for Kesha to go himself.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Even if he like wants to get rid of the Haishin unit and attack them, he didn't have to go himself. So I think that was just bad writing
okay.
on
So,
Haru's point. But again, the plan wasn't dumb. It was just easily exploitable.
but the
This
context here is
plan with
different. Right.
no, that's what I'm saying. This plan with Kocho is both dumb and exploitable.
Then why even argue that? Because we're saying that point that it's dumb because it's exploitable, right? Or it's dumb because it's not. What are you
Y'all
saying?
was arguing that it's not dumb.
Yeah, but like you're saying
No,
it's
we were
dumb
saying how can something
because it's
be
exploitable.
dumb and not and like easily exploitable all that shit.
But in this
And
situation, you think it's both. But like,
yeah, I disagree with the plan wasn't dumb to begin with. So you're kind of at a crossroads here. The
I don't
Keisha
think it's
plan.
dumb. I think this plan is like seeing how aggressively he pushed out. Either way, you have him retreat and then bait Austin into moving, and then you hit him in the back, or Austin doesn't even move anyway, and you start from like there's a lot of
My
like
thing, my niggas.
No, I'm
If
talking about
Kanki
the
don't
I'm talking
retreat,
about the Keisha
contingent.
plan.
There's a
but
lot
if
of
Kanki don't retreat, then what's Kocho's plan?
he wipes them out.
Come on, Jacko. You think that that's really gonna happen?
I mean, like I told you, conventional thinking would expect you to happen.
All
Even
right
Kanki's
then.
men
So
think that.
nigga, that shit's stupid.
That's not that I believe in Kanki. Like I know how special Kanki is. That's why I think Kanki and he's the MC of the story in the situation now. So I
Okay,
know
now
he'll
you're
win.
stupid. But
What?
okay,
But
nigga, you
like
said
if I'm
Kanki's
looking
the
like
MC, nigga. You're stupid.
let's say France is fighting Italy or something, and then they have the situation right here where when the generals gets come down on him, but with like 240,000 people to 80,000. I don't know. I know both generals are smart. I would think like conventional thinking. What I would do is get the fuck out of there. I'll leave. And if I try to stay, it's suicide. Like everyone thinks it is. So like you knowing the hindsight of it, that Kanki possibly might win because he's Kanki doesn't make the plan any more dumb or smart.
That's what
It's just a good idea to
hindsight.
do.
Bro, how can you say I'm using hindsight when the shit hasn't happened yet?
No, you're making an assumption that's the hindsight you're using. You're assuming that Kanki wins.
Bro, you do realize that hindsight is thought after the event,
I
right?
know, but like, listen.
So I can't use hindsight for an
God,
event that has. Nigga, if I think Kanki is gonna body Kocho right now, it's not hindsight, bro.
You don't have any
It's-
reasons to think that. Is my point. You're only
Nigga, I
thinking
have
that
every
because you
reason.
know it might happen because of the
Nigga,
story. So you
no,
kind of are
because
using a bit of
Kocho, no,
hindsight.
no, because Kocho fell for the bait. That's number one.
What bait?
Nigga, the bait of Uhong.
I know, but
Like,
what bait in terms of like what like
Nigga,
what's Kanki gonna do to that bait?
Uhong, nigga. Like Uhong is literally the bait that brought Kocho out.
No, it was Osen that and plus Kanki advancing that far. But either way, he fell for that bait, right? But what is he gonna do with it? Can you explain that to me? Like,
Kocho,
I'm not talking about Kanki. What's Kanki gonna do with that bait?
Kanki's gonna body Kocho and then
How?
take the cities, nigga.
How
What
is he
you
gonna
talking
body
about?
Kocho? How's he gonna body Kocho?
This is so dumb.
That I don't know yet.
Exactly.
But he will.
See, the fact that you know he will,
Yes, nigga, it's
maybe
not
using
hindsight.
isn't isn't the right word,
I was
but
about
you
to
know
thank
he
you.
will
Like,
because the MC of the story, like in a sense, you're like 99% sure he will. So kind of is hindsight.
I'm sure that again, like I said in the chat, I'm sure that Kanki will live, Kocho will die, but Kanki's army gets wiped out. And I'm still calling that an L.
How's he
Or
gonna?
a stalemate, rather, because they both taking L's, nigga.
What the fuck is
The
that?
only listen,
You're actually
I said
trolling with that shit, bro.
no.
He has 80,000 men. If he wipes out an army of 240,000 men and kills the freaking commander in chief
Well,
of the
that's
entire
not the same.
campaign,
That's not the same thing.
That's not what I said, Draco. I said he kills Kocho. I said nothing about Kocho's army.
either way, right? He defeats Kocho, right? And it results in them taking the city and his army gets wiped out. I think it's and also I've always said this about the context and nuances that happen within the plan. That's still a dub, in my opinion.
Well,
And
the,
it's not
the,
even
only, the
comparable.
only thing is that, like, at the
Like
end
I
of the
said,
day, Kocho was.
only-
Hold on, Twilight. At the end of the day, Kocho was already in a bad situation, so they didn't really have to take this risk. Eventually, they'd be fucked. It's just how long would that take?
Yeah, and
And
also
like I said, I'm only considering it a dub for Kanki if they kill Kocho and take the city. If they just kill Kocho, then it's not necessarily a dub.
What do you mean by take?
Well, we all know they're taking the city after killing Kocho.
Are you saying Kanki individually takes the city?
Kanki taking the city.
Bro, he basically
What?
ended the city to Osen if he
Well,
kills
like what I'm
Kocho.
saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Like if Kanki kills Kocho and loses a good portion of his men, because I don't see Kanki coming out of this unscathed, right? So Kanki kills Kocho but loses a good portion of his men, and Yotawa and Osen take the two cities. It's not really a dub for Kanki.
What?
But he created that opportunity for them.
Shit was bro. He created the opportunity for Kanki to walk in there, play ba. He killed the guy defending it, the big boss, with his 150,000 army being in disarray after.
I can't tell if Twilight just doesn't have anything to say to that, or if he's just lagging out again.
Either way, I do not think Kanki's army will get like wiped out that much, and
Like I
just
was
'cause it
just
doesn't
saying,
make sense for Kanki to make a plan like that for his army. But if something could go wrong,
nigga, Kanki's army is getting fucked, my nigga. I don't know who told you differently. Nigga, Ordo, I keep saying these niggas' names. Rido and Maron have such huge death flags over them, bro.
I'm not about Marin, but Rido
nigga,
does, yeah.
Oh my god.
What's the Marin death flag?
Bro, this is like the third or fourth time that this nigga has alluded to dipping on Kanki if shit got too bad. This is the second or third time that niggas have invoked that, yo, we just gotta win mantra, right? And then on top of that,
that's their mantra in general.
Right, but on top of that, Kanki didn't even give these niggas no type of plan.
He never does.
But my point is, this is not a situation where they could just hide in the woods and then, you know what I'm saying, do some bandit shit. This is an upfront battle, my nigga. They're gonna have to fight.
All right, so out of the 80K, how many do you think are getting wiped out?
Nigga, 60 plus.
Bruh, you're tripping.
Okay, I'll probably say maybe 50, maybe 60. I could see
That's
something like that.
crazy. That is crazy to me. If, like Kanki like walks in a battle where he kills Kocho, but
Loses
60,000
his
of his
army.
men die.
I'm
He
saying,
he
yo,
kills
Kanki's
Kocho,
gonna
takes like
have
20k men, and then he has like 30k men left.
the Seki clan, and that's it, my nigga. Like that's it.
Repeat what you said, Jonathan. Sorry.
I said he kills Kocho, he kills like 20k men or something, and he loses 50k, so he has 30k left.
K versus Kocho's what? 220, nigga. Kanki's dipping, bro. If that happens, Kanki's out. Even if
But
he does kill Kocho, I don't see him sticking around to fight the army afterwards.
yeah, but then he dips, and then they go after Osen, and then he comes back to pincer them.
Like
Yeah,
when they
I
said
don't know
that,
in a
I didn't.
situation where you losing men to achieve a goal means you took an L. I don't understand that part. That's just weird to me
Depends
that you
on
can
how.
say that.
Again, it depends on how many men he loses. Because again, I'm saying
He
it's
already
gonna be the
has
bulk.
80k, so like,
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's gonna lose the bulk. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna lose like 60K
how much you
of
think
his men to kill Kocho, right?
how much you think your town will lost?
And Kwang Long shit, and
Yeah,
started off with 60. My nigga, I'm gonna say she ended. Well, are you saying before she got the Kwang Long to join her, or like?
no, before like as soon as the battle ended, like when they killed Rose, how much
She had like
men of her?
15k left or something.
My nigga, I
15,
want to say she had like 20. Like she might have like
She
15
lost
to
less men
20.
than Kaki would lose here. Saying.
No, nigga, we saying she went from 20 to 15.
No,
But
So she
also, her
lost.
job there was necessary. Like I said, this isn't necessarily necessary.
I don't know. We'll see. Cause what's his name? It depends on like how what goes out, but I don't know if you'll lose 60k, and we can't really argue if necessary like how necessary it was. To be honest, they could continue fortifying that area that they're fighting in the
Well,
center.
even Riboku, like the guy's like, as I was gonna win, like he was like, even he's like, well, we just gotta bet on Kocho. We just gotta hope that he pulls it
Or you
off.
got to bet on Kocho, yeah, but Kocho just might surprise everybody.
Yeah, not happening. He's
Nah,
gonna fucking die
Right now,
to the big
that is
three.
weird to me. I don't like that kind of thinking. Why would like it makes no sense if they're gonna like just by slowly starving them out defeat Kocho for Kaki to do this. There has to be like a
Well,
plan.
that's the thing, and we can transition this to the whole. Even his thoughts elude me because, yeah, I mean that's the thing. If it's not necessary, then you're like, why would Kanki do
Yeah,
this?
this is the glass half empty approach. I don't know. I don't think it's that.
I mean, in terms of war, my nigga, Roboku said it the best. It's always best to think in the negative so that you plan for all of it as opposed to thinking optimistically and then you get caught with your pants in your hands, even then with your holding your dick and shit.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's always good to err on the side of caution. So when you go into shit like this, it's like, all right, my nigga, what happens if these niggas wipe us out? We got a plan for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know,
At the
man.
end of the
Like,
day, I don't think it's necessary. Maybe by like some roundabout way it is. Like maybe it'll take them a while, and they can't unify China in time. But it's
This is
like
BS,
not
in
something
my
anyone
opinion.
fucking
I don't
predicted.
understand.
Hold on. Maybe like by some roundabout way it is. Basically what I said. But at the end of the day, like this is something where you can't really tell why Kanki's doing this, and it goes into his character because we don't really know what his character is. And like I told you before when we first talked about this, I think that's a big part of what Osen's saying, where he doesn't really understand his character motivations, and that plays a part into his strategies. Because even with Denrimi, when he was talking about the plan, like he was basing his conclusion on Kanki's character. He's like, Kanki's gonna do this because he likes the spoils of war. He likes the shower his
it's
men
all
with
about
gifts, and it
victory.
keeps him loyal and shit like that. Well, he didn't say that, but basically that's the implication. So I think that's like a foreshadowing that's like around the realm of what Osen meant. And so when we go into this, we're like, is he just want to get the spoils? Is he doing this for the thrill? Like, what is even happening right now?
You know what's so crazy that
It's kind of,
you guys kind of spoke about how his army might get wiped out, but he kills Kocho. And the last time he did that was Genpo. And in the same chapter, Kusinryo was like, this guy the same guy that bested Genpo. So it's kind of like in a callback to that. So they might do something similar to where like his main army gets wiped out, but he killed Kocho, and then goes into hiding, and then pincers anybody that goes back to fighting. Literally the same thing that
I
happened to
mean,
Tenyu.
You know it's
that
kind of
wouldn't,
funny
you know
in
what?
a way. Real
That
quick,
wouldn't
like
be,
hold on, real quick, like it's funny because Twale is like always he's not the one giving Kanki the credit for killing Keisha, while Draco does, and it's like they didn't say Kanki got Keisha. They just said Genpo. They didn't. The biggest name was Genpo.
Yeah, that
Because
doesn't matter.
Kanki didn't kill Kisha.
I never like I never I don't know if I
And my
actually
whole
give.
thing with Genpo, and let me just say this real quick, right? If he does another Genpo situation where he sneaks his main army or his main force, but he loses the bulk of his army, like I've been saying, my nigga, that's not really a good thing now because he's a great fucking general. It's different when you're just a wing commander, you're a vice general under Mogul. But when you're the GG and you do that same shit, it's not the same thing, bro. It's not.
I don't know what that even means.
Like he's risking.
Obviously a greater scale, but like also the enemies are also greater here too, so like it kind of scales with it.
Yeah, but you can't keep risking your entire army to get the one general. You know what I'm saying?
That's how he operates always.
Especially
Depends
when
on
like
context.
it depends. But I'm saying the context of this war is not necessarily to kill Kocho like it was to kill Raboku. You know what I'm saying? It's to get the city so that they could seize Kantan.
If you get
So
a culture, that's a big blow either way.
it is. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to like deny that it's a big thing. All I'm saying is if Kanki loses the bulk of his army, and especially after Maron was just, oh yeah, we're saving our guys because our guys are stronger than you guys. You know what I'm saying? And he loses those guys, he can't just easily replace them. Not as easily as what you. Oh yeah, he'll just replenish his army. Like, nah, it's not that.
I think
easy,
he
bro.
has reserves areas and something like like I don't think the entire clans are all in the battle.
Like, I'm
It always
pretty
seems
sure
like
he
he
still has.
replenishes them.
Yeah, like he has people on his territory and at his land, but I don't think that he could just like. I think his best
The
people
bigger
are
thing that you're
with him.
saying is if he loses like the commanders, if he loses like Raito and
Yeah,
them,
bro.
that's
Yeah,
big.
like you're not just replacing those niggas. And I
Yeah.
do see again. I see Raito and Maron dying in this war.
I think Raito definitely might die, but that's
Raito is
about it.
going head first into the shits, my nigga. He's gonna
He's gonna die with honor, man. That dude's a beast.
I'm not. But dying with honor is cool, my nigga. But it's like
He's
if
such
your
a
man
beast,
sent you.
dude.
But bro, it's like okay, put it like this, right? If Shin sent like a unit of, if Shin sent Genyu to his death, would we be saying yeah, that's good on Shin?
Listen, this is the thing we gotta clarify, like
If
right
it was
now.
necessary.
This is what we gotta clarify right now. Kanki is not sending anybody to their death of his own army. The only thing that's gonna happen is gonna be in a situation where like he might underestimate or overestimate his army strength, or underestimate Kosho's strength. Kosho's not gonna die without swinging. He's a beast. So he's gonna do something that will cause Kanki harm. But it's not like Kanki was like throw that guy to the wolves and I'm gonna go here just as a distraction. No, it's not gonna be like that. I don't think, at least.
You know, Twilight about to be like, "How is he a beast?" And then he's like, in his mind, he's like, "Is this motherfucker gonna say portrayal, but I'm gonna make him say it anyways."
Like yo, I'm.
So yeah, Kosho got mad for trail. What do you mean?
Kocho, like that's all Kocho has right now.
Dude, this is crazy to me that it's like 80,000 versus 240,000, right? In conventional thinking, you're supposed to get wiped out, but somehow you get wiped out, but you deal a big blow to the army and kill the commander in chief.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just a very interesting scenario.
the
Fucking crazy fucking outnumbering, and you don't know what Kanki's gonna do. His like personality
Crazy.
can play into it. He might die. Riboku might come in. We don't really know like what Osen's thinking and how like their relationship is exactly. There's just a lot of ways this can go.
If Raboku has to come in to save Kocho from losing, then yes, this plan was trash. But again, he's stupid. Can we agree to that?
Kanki's
No,
just
we
that
can't-
nigga.
we
Like, how
can't
hard
agree
is
to
that to
that.
give you this?
Oh man,
Kanki
Nigga,
is
you
that
came down,
nigga.
you
Repeat
came
after me,
down,
bro.
You came down with 240K, and you needed Raboku to save you.
Like we
That's
said, ever
actually-
since last chapter, it depends on how obvious Kanki's plan is. If he dies to an obvious plan, then of course he's trash. But if it's something that's very hard to predict, then I don't see how that makes him trash.
And
I think Kanki's plan is gonna be just like straightforward, but it's not gonna be.
I'm gonna give the viewer the foreshadowing what's gonna happen. Anything that Kanki does, the legion of Kanki haters led by T Whale is gonna say it was uh just a dumb plan, like
But you can't. But you act like. But you can't say that I've been like switching up. I've been saying that this plan was stupid, and has been getting smarter as I've gotten more
Before
information.
even you, no, that makes it worse because you said it even before you saw any of the context. So like you already just
But
had,
he was
you already.
speaking in the moment. You can't really do that. That's like the One Piece thing where it's like you can't talk unless the arc is over.
It's not that. I'm just saying like in the moment itself wasn't even that stupid to me because like it was.
Well, yeah, that's where we disagree with
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Toile.
So the fact that he thought that, and I think it's obvious, in my opinion, it's not. I mean, you can't really say
in
it's
the
an opinion.
moment you left the middle to go fight Kanki, and then you get up and you end up getting saved by Raboku, then what was your plan, nigga? If your plan ended up you needing to be saved, then your plan was trash.
It's like
You
you're
can't just
freaking.
focus on like what happens. Like it has to like depend on context.
Yeah, but like I'm telling you right now, I'm foreshadowing anything that goes down. It won't change this nigga's mind. You feel me? That's all I'm saying.
Again, stated that Kanki is going to win. From the jump, I've stated that this was dumb on Kocho's part because he's falling for Kanki's trap. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying? Like that's literally what I've been stating this whole time. That's why it's stupid.
I have a
Because
question
he's
for you, Toy.
falling for the bait.
The
It's
reason you
only
keep saying
slightly better because this nigga has a lot of fucking men.
the reason you keep saying that Kanki is putting his team in a position to die. What do you mean by that? You're saying that because you didn't give him any plans? Or do you mean he's fighting an army that's 3 times his size? Like, what are you saying?
Both that and the way I'm looking at this is again, I'm looking at this like a Kesha 2.0. So he's using the same way he used the high string unit. It's like, oh, they're a noteworthy force. I'm saying they're an enemy unit that's like that Revoku wants taken out. He used them as bait to lure Kesha out, right? And what I'm saying is on a much grander scale,
He
he's doing the same thing with his own army.
he doesn't do that to his own army. The one has he ever done with his own army? The one time was Senyu, but he didn't think they're gonna get wiped out.
I
He usually
mean,
uses like the
didn't
other
didn't he
armies
do
as
that?
bait.
Didn't he do that at Kokuo too? I mean, not at Kokuo, at Kankoku Pass when he went to Kocho's area. He's like, yeah, I took all the real fighters with me and left the other niggas to die, and that's why they lost a part of the war when he went to go take the Han nigga out.
That is true.
Yeah, that is true, but that's like more of his like I said, people he can
Again,
replace. He never
grand
does it to his
scheme,
That's
but
like I'm saying,
that
he
was
does
a
that to people
smaller
he can
scale,
replace.
bro.
He does that to people he can put Ogiko there. Like he does that to people
And
he can replace.
I hope you know that everybody is replaceable to Kanki, nigga. What the fuck
Nah,
is you talking
he
about?
does not do like you said, like
I
as a good
guarantee,
general, he
my nigga.
needs
I
good
guarantee
commanders.
you, my nigga.
You're as
He,
only as
yo,
good as your weakest link, basically, and he knows he needs good commanders.
And Kanki knows for a fact he is a solid gold bar, nigga. He is not a chain. He is not connected to these niggas at all. That is
Like
the
okay,
scam, my nigga. That is literally the swindle, my nigga. Like, I
so
don't
if,
know, being from New York, like, you see niggas like Kanki all the fucking time, bro. That's the swindle. He makes these niggas believe that they are valuable, believe that he needs them and trust them. But on the real, my nigga, he don't give a fuck about them. That's word to everything, bro. Kanki will straight up abandon these niggas if he so chooses to.
okay, either way. So let's say you know that, right? You saying he abandons them as in leaves the country, but like if he's okay with them dying, that means he doesn't kind of see them as necessary. So like that goes against the point you're saying that what's the general without his army? Kanki seems to think he's okay without his army. He can replace them.
And I'm okay, I can see your point to that, but like Kanki is not a general. So he'll lose his
Either way,
army. Like I don't get what you're like what's your point, bro?
I'm just saying that you're
Are you
like
saying it's
saying.
acceptable for him to do that?
I'm just saying it's like acceptable within his own thinking that like if he's like if you're saying what you're saying about him not giving a fuck about them, which I kind of disagree on, that means if he does lose all of them and he's alive and wins this, he's still chilling
Don't
because like you
care.
said,
Yeah,
he's
but that's the
chilling.
thing though, bro. He like yo. If Kanki is chilling, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Queen is doing good. If Kanki is eating, that doesn't mean that the army is eating, bro. Just because Kanki is good doesn't mean that it works for everybody. That's my problem.
Okay? But I'm saying that like let's say he's okay. He has like 30,000 men. He's okay. If he kind of calculates the amount that he might lose. Let's say he loses 50K. He he's confident enough that he can still be a 60G with replacing these men. I think he will still be able to do fine. But that's the thing. If what you're saying is correct, that he doesn't care about them, I disagree, and I think that he's okay. he knows he needs them, and he won't put them in a position to die intentionally or like throw them as bait or whatever. He might throw some like a fodder or the reserves as bait, but he'll never throw anybody like that he can thinks as necessary. Like he will not like sacrifice the Zeno clan or something, or like Raido.
You notice how the Zeno clan is not there. You notice how the Saki clan is not there. Why? Because they're with Kanki. Why? Because those are the like I ain't gonna say he cares more about them, but those are the pieces he feels are necessities. I need Zeno for the power. I need the Seki clan for the torture shit. But the rest of you niggas, like yo, have fun with that, my niggas. Y'all going up against 240,000, and the only thing I'm gonna tell you to do is not run, so that I can read enough out of Kocho so that I can kill him later on.
Yo, fucking, is there like a person walking by you and just hearing you screaming, need the Zeno clan for the power, the Saki clan for the torture?
I'm in the middle of the city. I'm in the middle of the city screaming. I don't give a fuck. That's why I changed out of my work clothes real quick. How you doing?
Yeah, but I feel you. I feel you. Like he might have those, but I kind of also think we didn't see those guys because they're not necessarily always around the like these groups. They're not as tight with the normal humans as those four are.
Yeah, the Zeno clan in particular, you just keep them away from everyone.
Yeah,
It's the
but
second
it's
clan
gonna
for
be
me.
crazy, bro. This is gonna like keep attacking. Like we even see Kanki's entire chapter. Like we don't know. Next chapter is about to be
That's
fucking
another
lit, dude.
and that was another thing. The whole like I want to ask Kanki what's he fighting for type.
He's
That to me
dying for
is the
sure.
bro. Yeah, that's a big ass death flag, bro.
That I know Raido's dying, but like I don't know about the rest.
No, before we get into that, let's just close this Kanki discussion because we're about to get to like the Kanki army and their characterization and shit like that.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, let's just close this Kanki discussion with where does this make you see Kanki, Twali? Did it improve your opinion of him, and if so, by how much?
My opinion of not really because I've like again Kanki hasn't done anything that I'm not expecting. Kanki hasn't done anything yet, right? And I'm from the jump have been saying Kocho is the stupid one for falling for the bait for doing all of this. So no, Kanki hasn't done anything that has said, okay, yeah, now he's
But what
on
about the
Osin's
Osa
level,
betrayal?
right? To me, that's just okay. Like, yo, he can't read Kanki. To me, that doesn't say anything about yo, Kanki would give him a trouble in a war.
He would.
That
Lucy inherently says that.
not what it says, but that's your
Inherently, it does say
interpretation of
that
it.
though.
No, I'm saying that's your interpretation of it. To me, it's just okay. I can't read his intentions, right? But if my army were to fight his army, I don't give a fuck about his intentions. I'm gonna blow right through them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, just because I can't read Kanki's intentions, nigga, if I destroy his army, his intentions don't really add up to anything if he can't actually do it.
And that doesn't apply for all strategies either.
Yeah. What do you mean
Right,
by
and
that?
I'm just saying against Osin, right? I'm not just
What do you
saying
mean?
against
Like
all
I
people.
think that's BS. Like blow through his army. Like it's a lot of
There's
situations where you can't just blow
nobody,
through an army. You have to do
there
some
is
maneuvering and
nobody
shit.
in Kanki's
So if
army,
you can't
right?
understand his maneuvering, how are you gonna like counter it? But he doesn't have
That's
origin.
not what he's saying though. He didn't say his strategies. He said his thoughts.
Right.
His thoughts
I
aren't
can't understand
his strategy. Like
his
what? Why are you differentiating the
no.
two?
They're
Because like
different,
it's
bro.
obvious you would say strategies if that was the case.
He said his thoughts, which is in itself strategies. What?
It's how you
This, right?
What are
think.
okay? What are strategies? Tell me. Are they not thoughts?
Obviously they come from thoughts, but
Exactly. So what?
when you fucking specify his
But
thoughts,
that's
you're talking
different
about how
though.
he thinks in general.
Which
Yeah, like
it's
you're talking about
his
his
way of fighting,
personality.
his strategies.
No,
Like
it's not
I
talking
feel
about his
like
strategy. It's talking about
strategies are a subset of thoughts. So if you can't understand his thoughts in itself, that means you can't understand some of his strategies. I'm not saying you can't understand all of them. I'm saying it's difficult to deal with him versus somebody
no.
that you can understand their thoughts.
It's like
Can't
this, right?
strategies.
It's like this, right? Osin was able to decipher Raboku's strategies and tactics in an instant, but he couldn't understand Raboku's thoughts and reasonings for not leaving Zao. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you're a loser. You're just talking like a loser. Like you know what I'm saying? He's like, fuck it. Like I'm not gonna waste time. But he couldn't understand why Raboku chose to squander his abilities with a worthless king. So I can understand someone's
Oh,
strategies,
you
but
could
not
definitely understand
understand
that.
their
You could
thoughts.
definitely understand that. So, did he say he can't understand why he's doing that? 'Cause I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious he's just very loyal to Zhao. That's the
But
reasoning for doing that.
but it's why are you so loyal to Zal? Is what is hard to
Yeah,
understand.
that has to do with someone's past. That's something you can understand without
But
knowing them.
again, you can read someone's tactics without able to read into their thoughts, bro.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
saying
all we're
my whole
saying.
point is like if you understand someone's thoughts and way of thinking, it's kind of easier to decipher their strategies, in my opinion. If you can't even do that, like you can't like think like in the way they're thinking, it makes it a bit more difficult to understand the strategies. I'm not saying it's impossible. I feel like that's some good portrayal. If Osin himself, the GOAT, struggles to understand his strategies or thoughts, I guess maybe you can use the word strategies. Some other people might struggle with it too. And if you compare it to someone like
Said,
Roku, he had never given him that setup like that
but I'm
like
saying he said
honor of
Kanki
saying
is the one man who's thought to lose me, right? He didn't say Kanki's the one man whose strategies I can't comprehend. He's the one man whose
no,
tactics I
but what is
can't
it
read.
alluding to right here? What is it alluding to right here? Twale. It's
He
alluding to
doesn't
his
understand.
strategy.
No,
Yes,
he's
it is. He
saying
doesn't know what he was trying to do.
Yeah, because of his motivations, like
the
we were
Yeah,
right.
saying.
which in
What's the
itself
thought?
have
Like,
like you
bro,
said yourself,
we
Conky, not
we
Conky,
all know that
Jonkins
their fucking
have to do
that
with
their
like
objective is to take
motivate
these two
strategies.
cities, right? We all know that their objective is to take these two cities, right? But he's saying the thought process in taking those two cities is a bit foggy to me. I can't read them
That's
because
a
everything,
strategy, though, don't you think?
not necessarily.
The thought process of doing something, that's a strategy.
Yeah, but it depends on what your end goal is because, like I said, like depending on different motivations, his end goal can be completely different.
Yeah, but
And
like,
at the same time, he didn't say. He just said, "I'm not sure," and that doesn't mean he can't account for different scenarios. Like, let's say you're like, "I'm not sure what path he's gonna take," but you have like 4 outlined paths, and you're like, depending,
okay,
no matter what path he takes, I already have accounted for it. I'm just not sure, depending on like what type of strategist he is, who he is, what he's gonna do.
I'm pretty sure like, and he spent a lot of time with his niggas. Like, he probably has a lot more information on him than he does with like, let's say, an enemy he's facing. And to this point, he still does not really understand his thought process and
But
shit.
even Kanki's men were like literally like near Kanki. They don't know his motivations. Like even like they
Or
have info
understand his
about like his
strategies, right? And what's Conky's
hold
entire lore?
on. Like
Okay.
even like the thing with like his anger like melts rock. Like even supposedly they understand that and they still don't understand what his
Yeah.
character is. So it's like
Like what
something weird about Kanki that it's like some like thing like it just doesn't click.
Yeah, but my whole point
Why
is right.
Kanki
I'm just
fights?
summarizing my point. My point is the fact that everything you just said there, and Twale was saying, and I was saying, kind of makes him like a harder out, and in my sense, gives him portrayal to be like harder to beat than other people. And they always allude to that too, in the sense with like what I said, oh, these methods that you can't understand is what made him such an amazing person. Like even like no, like it seems like every time they mention Conky is about like niggas can't understand what he's like, why he
But
does things the
in
way he
all
does.
those situations, like it was obvious what his
He's
end goal
taking
was. It was
massive
just
losses
he
too.
wanted to win. He wanted to get money. He wanted to like save his army for like future battles.
I'm talking about the strategy,
And not only
the
that, but in those
strategies though.
battles, he took massive losses for no reason. That's
Like,
the part. That's
oh,
part of what people couldn't
what?
understand. Why he's attacking. You know what I'm saying? But when they said, "Yo, we're winning these battles," dude, you know what I'm saying that you military bumpkins can't understand because they can't understand why he's attacking the terrain disadvantage, even though he's losing so many men. You know what I'm saying? That's what people like. It's not necessarily that his plans and strategies are just so crazy good. It's just that
I'm not saying they're crazy
sometimes
good.
it's like, yo, it's like why? Like
We all know
when
that they're not as crazy
like
as
when
like
he
some of the shit you
left
saw.
like when he left Tin and with the Kesha shit. It's like why? Why did you do that? It ended up being a good thing
Exactly.
overall because it brought Kesha out, even though Conky's plan failed. But the question of why would you fucking abandon the high string unit and basically leave them to get slaughtered, it's still there, bro.
Yeah, but like that's the whole thing.
Especially
That's
since
the
you
whole thing
failed.
Marin's talking about. It's like you guys always say like this doesn't make sense, it doesn't understand, but yet we keep winning. That's all like while you guys are
Yeah,
questioning
but
them,
bro,
at the end of the day we keep winning, right? And you like that in itself just tells
that's
you
the
that
thing though,
people don't
bro.
understand this
We
nigga, but it's
seen,
still effective.
but again, bro, we seen that in the biggest situations, Conky's army didn't win because of Conky's army, nigga.
What? That's a different conversation. That's not what I'm saying here.
But that's the point, bro. That's
No,
why
it's not the
Maron is
point. My
so
point
no,
is
but that
Conky's
is
like intellect and way
that's
of thinking is hard to deal with.
again. Oh my god.
The shit
You
he
just
is.
brought up the point about why Maron and have gone through this shit and they still keep continuing to go. And I'm letting you know that one, this is the first time I believe that Kanki has really put them like this is the first time I think he's really gonna just truly leave them to their own devices. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see.
When the Gakurai shit happened, he had a backup plan for it. When the Kesha shit happened and I guess the backup plan was the plan because he had no idea Ten of them would do that. But still, they failed and he had no backup plan to take the hill. It was simply
He did have backup plan.
not when they failed, bro. He didn't pull them. He
he
didn't pull them back until after Kesha was killed and
He didn't even
Kisui
care
switched. You know what I'm
where
saying?
they
He
were.
didn't. But I'm saying he didn't switch up his tactics until after Kesha got killed, and then Kisui switched up his tactics on the hill to an all-out offensive. That's when Kanki cared. But you know what I'm saying? Before that, when he sent Raito, and then Raito failed, Kanki didn't do anything. He was tight that his plan failed.
No, as soon as he realized that same nigga fucked him twice, he was maybe this nigga's more important than what I'm giving him credit for, so he dug into him.
Oh, it wasn't even that, bro.
It
Keisha
was.
died.
It was. He didn't know. He said, "Oh, we don't know what Keisha." He's like, "Never mind that. That like we have a bigger enemy to worry about." That's what he said, and that was what
He
Keisha was.
said, never mind, Kesha's not the real enemy.
Yeah.
But
I'm
again,
not
that was
saying her
only
being dead
after,
though.
but bro, that was only after Kesha died.
But
Yeah,
at
but
that
that
point,
You know
he
what I'm saying?
he didn't know Keisha died.
yeah, he
Right.
didn't know Keisha died. So
And he
like
was
he's
still
already saying
going,
that.
but no,
So
but
that
listen. He did not make any adjustments until after Kisui went on an all-out offensive, and then Rengoku said, yo, this is not like Kesha, and then that's when Kanki said, fuck Kesha, he's not the real opponent. So he
yeah,
didn't make any moves until after Kesha died.
I listen. I'm telling you, the fact that he didn't know Kesha died, and the fact that he already like it's not like he just thought of it right then. He was pondering it, and the fact that he was like,
Getting information from the niggas they tortured. It wasn't like he was just sitting on his ass, but he didn't do anything further until after Kesha died.
why
And he
is he trying to get
capitalized.
information about what's his name? What? Why is he trying to get information from the niggas he tortured if he doesn't think Keith was like the real enemy, which he himself stated?
Ain't that Conky's like MO?
The main thing is
Torturing
that
niggas?
he got the info about Kyusu's like loyalty to the city, and that's what like made him change his mind and shit.
Yeah, it wasn't really the fact that she died. Even if she was alive, that's a different argument. He would have still went after Kisui. I mean, he had this argument at least 100 times.
Yeah.
But either way, man, like, are you gonna ask me what I think of where I put Kanki in this situation, Junkins?
You already
I'm
know
about
what.
to, but hold up. So, like going back into the even my thoughts elude me. Like for example, like we said, like Kanki, he doesn't just do fucking psychological warfare. Of course, he probably has fucking conventional warfare like maneuvering tactics in his strategies and shit. And I'm saying that does not take into account the maneuvering tactics or like just tactics in general. Like if you see Osen and Riboku going up against each other, that type of shit is not really what he's talking about. More like a grand scale like strategy thing because
I agree.
for example, like if Kanki, if he's someone that likes the thrill of battle so much that he'll put himself in a very dangerous situation just to put you in a dangerous situation, just to see who can come out of it, like that's something where you're like, if I don't know if he's gonna do that or not. Like his plans could wildly differ depending on if he wants to do that or not. Because a lot of Kanki's plans, they seem like he takes risks, but at the same time, he also plays it safe in a way and he gets results. But
Yeah.
if he just does something completely different where he puts both of y'all in like a horrible situation, it seems like, and you don't know if he's gonna do that or not, like of course that's like wildly differing scenarios. And that's just one example.
Conky takes risks with other people, not himself.
He doesn't take risks himself till he goes out. That's shit.
That one time he attacked Han,
And Genpo.
Bro, how's that risking himself though, Draco? He's faster than Kyokai.
That's a fact. You're right.
Yep.
And the time that Kyoka had his nick, like, yo, Kyoka would have got murked. He'd have went, breath, and then it fucking disappeared, like this teleportation technique, and had her fucking nick.
yeah, I know you're trolling.
All right, but
I
yeah,
called
go ahead.
Kyokai-
Tell me where this puts Kanki.
I think
Kyokai would single-handedly body everybody in his army.
I don't know. I just think
Fuck.
like it doesn't really like for me. I've always had him like top 5, top 6, 7 general anyway. So it doesn't
Dead or
really.
alive?
I don't know. No, it's alive. I know. Top 5 alive, something like that. I don't know about Dead or Alive. I don't know if I have a list like that because Dead or Alive is crazy.
You want
He
me
has
to
like
pull up my tier list?
has like
No,
Gaku, he has
not at
Hakuki, he
all.
has all those niggas. So I don't know. I don't know if he's the top 5 Dead or Alive. But yeah, he has arguments for it. You feel me? He's up there. But like, let's say just top 5 like alive currently, and then this is portrayal from Osen just kind of like further cements that for me, as well as him being able to like confidently go up against 80,000, 240 in like a in a in a in a in a f- in a let's say a flattish area that they can't really just do guerrilla warfare on. I'm super excited to what he shows regarding that, and he's able to get the dub here. I feel like that's like we get the portrayal now we're getting the feed. So like I think that moves him even more higher up. Let's say like which what I always thought, but like it's always a hard argue to people that like love this nigga. I think he's like on Riboku's level, and I think that this Osten shit that he said kind of like, in my opinion, just for me, other people disagree, kind of like adds further credence to that because like he can understand Riboku but can't understand this nigga. So in my opinion, the way I think about it, it gives it makes him harder out.
So
Yes,
wait,
yeah.
you think it's harder for him to beat Kanki than Riboku?
I think yes, it is. Just matchup wise, he's not really understanding.
Bosun is a terrible matchup for Kanki because he doesn't take baits and he's just super calm, cool, and collected.
I'm about
Yeah,
to say
he is a terrible
psychological,
matchup for Kanki, but like
no
it's
psychological warfare, and
it's
his
gonna be
army
like
is better.
it's like but
Nigga,
for me, like what he was doing was Riboku was just like he was walking him down, in my opinion. He's like every step of
Raido
the way he
versus
sucked him.
Akko. Akko wins. Denrimi versus Maron. Denrimi wins.
Yeah.
Zo versus fucking
Well, we're not even taking
Rengoku.
armies into consideration.
Nigga,
That just
Yeah,
like
I don't.
Osen without his commanders against Kanki without his commanders.
That's what I think. Yeah,
he doing without his
I feel like he'll
commanders
be like
though.
an harder out than
That's what I'm
Riboku.
saying. But Kanki is always gonna use his commanders
And
to get
even
his
if he
job done.
isn't, that
Well,
might be kind of a hot
this is
take.
just a hypothetical to like
That might be
discern
just
how good they are as strategists.
yeah. I just feel like this like put put like Kanki like intellect and strategy like a
A
tier
little.
above, in my opinion, just for the fact that Osid himself, the GOAT, will struggle to like kind of understand this dude. So like other people like Ruboku or like Carmen or something might also struggle. You feel me? Like
Even though Raboku knows Kanki's supposed weakness.
just cap, like such cap. I can't wait for
How
that
wait?
shit.
How
Okay,
is that
so
cap?
hold on. So when Kanki goes up against Riboku, you think he's gonna end up looking better in that exchange?
Sure. If he's not like caught off guard, like doesn't jump him,
All right, see
he'll for
this is where you're gonna end up fucking yourself
why?
because we all know that's not gonna happen.
I
It's
told
almost
you.
for a
I
fact
told
we
you.
know
What
that's
that?
not gonna happen.
What is that? What is that caveat I just added there? Him getting jumped. If homie gets jumped and he still almost kills your ass, like let's say we're in a 1v1 in Smite, right? I get ganked 2v1, and I almost kill both of these niggas that are 1 HP and I die. I kind of style on you, even though I died, I kind of style on you.
There is no
Do you take
mechanical
the
skill in
do,
this.
I would say, do you get points for barely beating people in Smite?
Just for us readers, we give him props.
No. Do you get points for barely beating people in Smite? Answer the question.
And then okay, and if my homie Olsen just jumps in and kills both
Do
of them,
you
yeah,
get
I do get points.
points
I do get points, yes.
No, you
if
don't.
your if your homie
If my
jumps in?
homie Olsen jumps in and kills him,
You ain't getting no gold for that. No XP.
that's this gold.
Nah, Olsen ain't coming though.
I mean, he's gonna take advantage of it,
Say
Pledba.
niggas said a
Taking that city.
1v1 turns into a 2v1, and then I lose, but my man avenges me, so I get points for that. Get the fuck out of here,
No,
Draco.
I'm saying I take one with me and I can't kill the other person, but make him low. Yes.
Oh nah, I heard because the first thing I heard was
Either way, but I'm making it different now.
you said, oh okay, so now you just switching up the scenarios to
Like
make this
either
shit
way,
sound
like
plausible.
I like the way I'd rank it now would be he's my
You
top
see
5,
why? You
4.
see why I hate how this nigga argues?
Why?
Because you'll make up a scenario and then walk it back, and then still try to argue the point with the scenario you just walked back.
Because it's always good to do that. Because I might have been reaching with the first scenario, but my point still stands. You know.
At the end of the day, we know regardless if Riboku's in an advantageous situation or not, that he's gonna get the one up because he outsmarts Kanki. We all know that. It's almost a fact.
I mean, we'll see.
This is the reason why Twale fucking goes in on you though, because you can't
Like,
even
you
you
just-
can't even admit
You
something
can't
like
even
this.
admit the simple shit, right? You can't even admit the
What even
simple
is
shit.
that, bro? Because Riboku outsmarted other people too. Like I think he outsmarted Osen in scenarios as well. Like
But it
you
was
can
never
He
it was
definitely
never
did.
in the big scenario though.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
can
that's the
definitely did.
context of
somebody,
portrayal.
right?
Kanki stuff again.
But let's say we're
What?
like walking.
You on this Roboco and
He
Kanki stuff
outsmarted.
again?
He definitely
Yes,
outsmarted
we are.
Osen with the whole Mako shit. The fact that Mako got clapped was definitely Osen getting outsmarted. Yes. Saying that as
So
an Osen
listen,
fanboy.
listen, right? Listen. Here's what I see it happening, right? They're going back and forth. Kage gets the edge. Also, Riboku gets the edge. The last edge might go to Riboku, but that doesn't discredit all the edges that that Kanki had in the first place. And yes, that kind of might prove that Riboku is better than Kanki, but it's still arguable depending on the context. It could still be room for
But that's what
argument
I'm
that.
saying
Oh,
because
it's saying that
at one
okay,
point you're like Riboku's better, but Kaki's gonna go extreme diff or whatever your argument was, and now
Yeah.
you're saying, well, Riboku might be better because he's harder to figure out. So I'm like, you're saying this, but Riboku's gonna end up
I don't
looking
know if I
better.
said that, and this is where it comes to me walking shit back, so I might have to walk that one back. Oh, what I mean by that is that at the end, like, well, I always argue Jonkins and you, like, everybody knows me. I've never said Kanki is better than Riboku. I've always argued on the same level, and he's on that same playing field as Osin and Riboku. And even if Riboku does at the end in a extreme extreme diff fight outsmarts Kanki, that just puts like what I was saying, vindicates what I was saying, and say that they're on the same level. And maybe the thing that will bridge Kanki to be on that level right now is the fact that he's harder to read. So like Riboku will struggle with him. Eventually he'll figure him out and beat him.
So let me ask you this. The only thing that will put Kanki down for you is if somebody other than Osen or Riboku beats him.
Yeah, I mean if Karen beats him, then it's also like I was wrong on that
Okay.
because I think he's
So
better than Karen. In terms of intellect, like Mobu could probably beat
if
him.
Suiju pop up and beat him, because
Oh
he
my god.
supposedly no, I'm just saying
What?
because he was there with Riboku, so he supposedly knows the Kanki weakness.
Then
That's
Juju
the only.
comes if
That's what I said.
Juju comes and beats
He
Kanki, bro, like you will not hear from me. Like what? You will not hear from me. I'm gone. Like, it's not that's so disrespectful. The hell?
okay. So you just won't believe it if somebody else other than Riboku.
No, if
Copy.
it happens,
Okay.
it
No,
happened,
no, no, no.
right? But I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna think that's like the biggest BS in manga history. Since Juju is not beating Kanki in any scenario unless he just comes behind him and stabs him in the back, teleports behind him, stabs him in the back. Like it's like
It's
no
that
way.
weakness though.
That weakness,
There's not
like
only
I'm
the
saying, bro, you
weakness.
can know the
He
weakness, but
he
like you gotta
knows
be
the
at a certain
weakness.
level to take advantage of it. And
He
even then, you might
he's
be falling into his trap.
fucking bro. He's one of Riboku's top dudes.
Yeah,
Like I put him
I'm
way
saying
above.
Riboku will
I
struggle with
put
it. What
him
do you mean his top
above the
dude?
Earl. I put him above the Earls. I
I
put
don't know
him
about that.
above Banaji. Like
I don't know about that either.
Sunsui, yeah, nah. Sunsui was
No,
that nigga.
Juju did not impress me versus Utama. He was ass. In my
What?
opinion.
What?
What?
All right,
He was
let's
the
not
only
even
saving
get into that. Let's not even
What
get
do
into
you
that.
mean?
God.
No. Let's not get into
That
that.
was wild.
Let's not
Yo,
get
that's a
into
wild
that.
Walk
take.
down, bro. He find the holes, yes, but like
Draco,
he got
shut up. Don't get into
No,
that.
that's
We're about to go with the fucking chapter. We're gonna keep talking about the chapter. I'm not gonna get into some dumb shit like that. Fuck that.
How was that dumb though?
Because it's gonna lead to a full
You're
fucking
telling me you
30-minute
were
discussion, and your point is
okay.
terrible at the same time.
How is it terrible? Like you're telling me that what you expected from Juju, he surpassed and did what you expected from him? No, I thought he was supposed
He
to be
didn't
better
get the
than what he
chance
showed.
to, but every like time
Which is-
every time he fucked up, there was a legitimate excuse for it. You can't really blame him for the loss, and he was consistently a step ahead of her for most of the war. So yeah, he looked good, but
fucked up.
he didn't get his chance to really like
That's-
show the best
okay.
of what he can do.
Maybe I was using hyperbole, but that's what I meant. Like I expected more from him, in my opinion. And I don't think that puts him above Banaji because
Everything-
Banaji did
More
some
about your
crazy shit.
expectations than him as a character.
Yeah, but that's how I judge. Like
everything that he
where
did
he at,
in that
where he's
arc was the saving grace. The only reason why he wasn't the supreme commander is because he couldn't just kill Rozo, because then all the Kwang Rong niggas would have ganged up on him and tried to kill the Zhao niggas. So he had to go along with letting Rozo be the main nigga, the main like the main commander or whatever. But everything he did in that arc was fucking amazing, bro.
I don't know
From
about
the
amazing.
from luring them.
All right, no, you had your opinion, bro. Let's not get into this. You said it's amazing. That's good, but whatever.
Amazing, that's crazy, bro.
So my opinion on Kanki, I've always said that I don't really take him being the number 2 in kin seriously, and I don't know. Like at this point, I could take it seriously, but I still have Mobu as a clear number 2 for me. But before, like I wasn't gonna say someone was crazy for saying Kanki's better than Mobu, but I just didn't really take it that seriously. But now, like I think that there could be an argument for it, but we'll have to see what he does. I'm still pretty sold on Mobu being number 2.
And I kind of agree with that 100%.
Like, come on, my
I
niggas.
give you. I always said like Mo was probably better than him, but like that kind of like exactly what you said kind of puts doubt in that, and like it makes me more comfortable saying Kanki might be better than him. So yeah, Kanki kind of slides into my top 5.
So
Sure.
do you think Mobu's on Osen and Riboku level then, since you think Kanki is?
I feel like as like a general, yes, but like I don't know about like Osten, but like I think he can be on Ruboku's level, yeah, in my opinion. And I said this thing right here that happened bridges like kind of further cements that like kind of like reduces the gap a bit more. So maybe Mobile has to do like a bit more to like be on that level as well. But before when I was saying Conquer's on the level of Revoke, I was like kind of giving the benefit of doubt. But like I was saying, benefit of the doubt is kind of turning into like actual portrayal. So if Mobile gets like a similar portrayal like that in the future, then yeah,
He's
I don't think he's far off from their level, in my opinion.
Mobu's on their level, but he's on the opposite side of the spectrum. Like they're great when it comes to strategy, tactics, and manipulation and
Your
shit.
list is garbage, Junkins.
He's just
Yeah.
great when it comes to fighting and power and
It's
just.
not my fault. I'm like 10 tiers above you in intellect. It's all good.
Yeah, this stupid Kaki and Mobile 2 levels below Revoke. Holy shit, that's crazy. Great.
Hey
If
man,
I
you
didn't.
just
I
don't
didn't
want
want you
to
to.
Okay,
believe in
let's
the
say- okay.
portrayal.
No. If Kanki does go extremely with Revoke when they're both trading blows and Revoke gets the final dub, like yeah, Kanki got to go up on this list, man.
I mean, obviously.
he got to go up to go
Stream
contender.
diff to you.
What'd you say, Twally?
Stream diff to y'all.
It's extreme diff. I mean,
Austin Revoke.
that can mean so many things. It could basically be like the twists and turns of a plan. Like this is my plan, but we know it's actually this, and then there's like so many steps to it. And then at the end of the day, Revoku like barely gets a 1-up or something. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty dominant win on Revoku's part, and like someone of an excuse is gonna be caught him off guard, but then at the same time, it is a dominant win. So
Yeah, that's like already saying like that's just already just
Hello?
doubting. Crazy. If he gets caught off guard, I expect him to have a dominant win. What? Like if he caught off someone off guard, if you do anything less than that, that just all the props goes to the other person.
it depends. Like we always say, it depends on context.
If Kanki brings it back to a point, he turns the table back to a point where it's somewhat even in that war, and then Reboku ends up still winning, like couldn't like bring it all the way back, then yeah, I feel like Kanki that's very big for Kanki, which I think might happen. But like
I think he'll get a moment, but it's just a moment that stops him from getting like eviscerated like right off the bat. Like he manages to like hold the line for a bit because of something, but then at the end of the day, he still gets outplayed.
I don't even know what that tells us. I think that's pretty ass if it happens, in my opinion.
Honestly, I'm not even like
It
the
doesn't
way
tell
I'm
me
looking
shit
at it.
there. It
Well,
never gives
depends.
Kanki the chance to prove
Depends
himself.
on like what portrayal they give.
Like I said, Kanki's army is gonna get wiped out, but he and a small force will make it out. I honestly don't even think he fights for Boku because I just think his army gets wiped out now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
up?
we can hear you.
Let me hear
Yeah,
you.
I was talking like this whole time.
No, we didn't hear you then.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
he was muted then.
Dang.
But
So yeah, what
yeah,
you gotta
it's
say?
just the numbers now.
I wanted to ask Draco a question.
So
Did you say that Kanki is now in your top 5?
top 5, yeah, he kind of creeps in there.
You said top
What
5
did he
alive.
do this chapter to get to top 5?
Listen, I've always had him around top 5, top 6, but this portrayal from Olsen kind of gives them like an aura.
Just because he said he's unpredictable?
I mean,
That doesn't
yeah,
make him a top 5
he's the
general.
smartest person.
That and just the odds of the battle.
Yeah, this
80k versus 240k, and then Kocho getting hyped up.
Yeah, exactly what he said. Plus, like going back to the portrayal part, like the smartest person saying I can't understand it, dude, kind of just like rises up Kanki in my head compared to other people that might face them in these like hypothetical matchups. That's all.
Okay, so you're saying like if Kanki completely comes out with the win here, he's definitely top 5.
For sure. What?
Okay,
He's
I
like
agree
a,
with that.
like dominant. Like, I think he's definitely like he got to go up on this shit tier list from Jonkin.
So if he's definitely top 5, who's he definitely over? Because he's not definitely over Osen. Not definitely over Riboku. He's not definitely over Rempa. That's already 3.
That's why that's a 3 that like I have above him as well. Then I have him like confidently like he can be between 4 to 5.
And then there's Mobu. There's Shoheikan.
I'm still not giving him toe. Fuck out of here.
What?
That's
what I mean, bro. There's always like up to like I said at the beginning of this video what I mean by
like
that.
you keep talking about portrayal, right? Him being Oki's man for so long. Them even even Moten, one of the smartest people in Quinn, stating that Toe has not shown his full capabilities yet. So you're judging him and saying he's trash when he hasn't shown everything.
I'm taking that into account, by the way.
I think Twala makes a good point though. If you're going just by portrayal, then Toe has equal, if not more, than Kanki.
Yeah, and I also think Kanki has better feats as well, but that Twala didn't consider feats. And I don't know if that portrayal comment is even true.
He's gonna use it to further his agenda. He's like, he overhyped Riboku and you overhyped Toe. Like, Oki be overhyping.
Who would I over?
No, I'm saying, but like what?
Okay.
What portrayal wasn't real? Like, what are you talking about?
I never said it wasn't real. I just think Kanki's is better. What portrayal are you referring to? Tell me the
Bro, you literally just said I don't think that was real. Like you literally just said I don't.
What? I never
said you just said it like real. 2 seconds ago.
Did anybody else say that? I never said that.
I heard you say that.
I said like portrayal wasn't real.
Like you don't believe it.
Yeah, you like the portrayal I just gave for Toe. You literally just said it's not real.
No, I said I take it into account. I said I take that into account. I don't remember saying it wasn't real. Even if I did, scratch that anyway. I'm saying.
Well, we know you don't believe it because you don't think he's Oki's equal. So what do you mean scratch that?
Like, come on.
That's not the portrayal he said though. He said he never said anything about Oki being his equal. He just said he worked with Oki for so long, and he also said Moten said that he hasn't shown his full potential yet. That's the only 2 things he said.
But we know like that's Toe's biggest portrayal thing, and then DBZ after he's like, well, if you take into account portrayal, and then like we all instantly know what he meant.
Like I didn't think I had to literally list everything, but
no, but I'm talking about what you said, Twala. Like maybe I just didn't even pay attention to what DBZ said.
So I'm saying you don't take the Moten thing as actual portrayal. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't take like. Is that even portrayal? I just think he's stating the fact that he hasn't shown his full capability there, which I agree with.
Let's reframe it to this: is his portrayal equal that of Kanki's?
I mean,
Kanki hasn't had any portrayal that says he's Oki's equal.
I think he's been like kind of portrayed to be like on the same level as Riboku, in my opinion, through hard words, but that's a different conversation. And I think Riboku's better than Oki. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad argument.
But Riboku only beat Oki due to being caught off guard and having a whole entire fresh army.
Okay, do you think Riboku's better than pointless?
So,
do you think Riboku's better than Oki or no?
No, I don't think he's 100% better than Oki. No.
That's different.
Again, he only beat Oki due to the shit that you said. You just said if Riboku beat Kanki in the same way, it wouldn't change your opinion that wouldn't matter to you because he had to. But I'm saying, but hold on. You said literally that if you kept somebody off guard and then if they bring it back and almost win, that you're gonna take that person that almost barely won, even though they still lost. You used the whole Smite analogy, and that's literally what happened with Oki.
Yeah, Oki was hella. That's a good point. Oki was hella impressive. Like that's at that moment, niggas wanted to say Riboku straight up better than Oki at that point.
No, but the thing isn't what Draco was talking about. He's saying like Kanki almost wins against Riboku. At no point was Oki ever close to possessing a threat to Riboku. He's just almost got Choso, and then maybe he could escape after. But at the same time, Riboku had way more men.
Say Riboku had way more men, right? And not for nothing, the whole arrow to the back shit. What else happened? I mean, not for nothing. If Toe really wanted to, he could have got to fucking Riboku's army. Nigga, like one of Toe's lieutenant was like, yo, like stop here and go back to Oki. So if it was really like, yo, we gotta kill these niggas, Toe could have got there, and I don't see Riboku Toe hella like no.
I mean, that's very debatable.
My point was that that's not the reason I have Riboku over Oki though. Riboku gonna give himself an entire resume after a portrayal and
with Hoken, nigga. Everything he did was with Hoken. What the fuck?
Okay,
Here we go again.
No, I'm just saying, my nigga, everything he did was with
okay.
Hoken. Hoken literally saved this nigga's life like Chokai did Shin. But don't nobody want to talk about that. Literally gave him the Buddha palm and said, nigga, you are back from the dead. Healed organs and all of that. That was fucking falling out. All inside, stitched up, you good, and I killed everybody that was tracking you. Like, come on.
A different conversation.
Niggas always like the hype of Gekishin. So you telling me if Gekishin actually made it to Roboku, Roboku would have fucking beat him too? Would have just beat him in a duel?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know how
Fuck you.
strong either are, but I get the win through Roboku. I don't even think you would have gotten to a duel. I think he just gets him jumped.
Even based on his feats against Shin, I mean, he's beating Gekishin's ass.
Bro, that was a 1,000-man Commander Shin. That's not a good feat.
Bro, that same Shin, like, that Shin not too long after in the coalition, he fucked up Hoken.
That's a different Shin, dude.
Wait, I was
That's
about to say, that's a way,
extreme weight, revenge
that's
weight,
a way
boosted up
different shit, bro. That's
Shit.
even after he fought Man Goku and got stronger from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was
Did he
time
really,
between-
get stronger from that? Like, it's
Yes,
nothing, it's like
yes.
significant.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think he got
yes.
stronger from that.
Bro, that added to his weight. Man, Goku was one of the niggas that was fueling him during the Hoken fight. That shit added to his weight. Yes, that made him that he got stronger from
body.
that fight. Yes.
It's nothing significant, though. The major fucking selling point in that Hoken fight was getting back for Dukyo and then saving Kin. Mangoku was
The
like
fact
not
that-
even a thing at
The
that
fact
point.
that Man Goku adds to Shin's weight means that he got stronger from that fight, which means the 1,000-man Commander Shin that Roboku blew back one time when Shin admitting he wasn't really going hard because he's not trying to kill him in this particular moment. Like, it was a test. So you can't really
But
compare
he
that.
didn't say he wasn't going hard, and I said it wasn't a
Yes,
significant
bro.
increase.
No, but I'm saying Shin himself said he wasn't trying to kill Roboku.
But yeah,
He
that
literally-
could just means that he knows he's not strong enough to kill him, so he can go hard in his first strike, but he knows it's not going to do anything, and then he can back off.
They have an alliance. Shin has this morality that he has to beat Roboku on the battlefield. So again, it was a
Shiba
tester
Show is
blow
higher
from
than
a
Kanki?
1,000-man Commander
That is
Shin,
crazy.
who was hella weak at that time, bro.
This list is garbage.
Like, I don't think that's a good strength indicator for Roboku. Like, to say, oh yeah, he did that to Shin. He didn't even like really scar Shin. He blew him back, and that's it.
Yeah, he sent them flying. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
But for Shin being that young before the glaive, like, nah.
That's like a year after he fucking killed Rinko. And then Gekishin, he
Yeah.
couldn't handle Hoken's strength at all, like in the slightest.
But but at the same time, Roboku was telling Shin that like you're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have fucking been on the battlefield, but you don't know war yet. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Roboku wouldn't have done that to Shin at Sai.
Bro, his whole point was that he doesn't know how terrifying it is because of what something can like pop up in an instant,
Yes,
like a
and
coalition.
Roboku also knows that people get stronger during life-threatening situations. He like, come on, bro, you can't deny that fact.
Okay,
So
that
Roboku
applies
knows-
that applies to Riboku too.
But Roboku didn't get stronger. Like, what life-threatening events did Roboku have between him fighting 1,000-man Commander Shin?
I'm not saying he went through one. I'm saying it applies to him too.
I'm not saying Roboku's weak, but I'm not saying that you can say, oh, well, he blew back 1,000-man Commander Shin, so he's on par with all these great generals.
I'm comparing him to Gekishin because you were saying, does he body Gekishin? I'm like, yes, of course he does.
No, I don't think he bodies that.
Bro, this is the same
it's not
Shin
a-
that was fucking up Koyoku, and Koyoku was able to fuck with Toe.
Different circumstances, different situations, bro.
DBZ
You
left.
know that.
But yo, like, what's his name? If you would make like a top, whatever, alive, like right now, right here, based on what happened now, Jonkins, the list doesn't change, right?
No,
Assuming
doesn't.
credit list, but Shiva Show being above Kanki, like a whole tier, that's wild.
I don't even know
There's a
where I
single
put
Kanki
Shiba Show right now.
There's a single Kanki commander in this whole list.
Bro, they're not that
Like,
good.
Yeah,
Look,
he's below in the 10 tier. You know, one tier below the baseline GG level.
Hold on, let me look at this shit before I get on the train.
Correcting the Yonkins and Twale LLCs.
You know,
Okay, let's see.
Marin's kind of like on par with Kane. You know.
Nigga, Marin's on par with Kinmo. I keep telling you.
Shiva show. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
like,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know
anything that happens here, niggas still gonna downplay it. So like, I make my own tier list. That's the most factual one. No bias involved.
I'm
All
just
right,
saying,
yeah,
when
make it, and
Kanki
we'll
has,
destroy it on stream.
when Kanki has actual feats, then I will give him props for his feats.
Why does this nigga Spencer take like 30 minutes to type out like one sentence?
See, alive now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's 8th alive right now.
Isn't he 7th?
I'm just saying, like he has him on the same level as
Oh yeah,
Mobile.
fucking Cohen.
Cohen, yeah, I didn't know
I
what the
don't,
fuck that was.
I don't even think that that's bad, bro. On the same level as Kareem, Kinmo,
No,
Mobile,
that's not bad. Man.
Conway,
Shiva show
Shohei
being above
Kun.
him, that's gonna want. I don't know, shit.
I'm just saying,
What?
like I'm guessing that's because of the whole 5,000 versus
Funny, bro.
20,000 shit. Like
I
I'm
just said
hoping that's
Shiva
why
show
you
being
have him
above him. That
over.
nigga hasn't done shit. It's
He's
crazy. That's what I said about.
shit.
But
I
mumbled
would
it,
say
man.
all Shiba Show got is beating Ordo with 5,000 men.
I think Shiva show
And
being above RSJ is disrespectful too.
I mean, obviously he doesn't have some feat that would fucking like guarantees in that spot. That should be obvious to everyone.
Give people benefit of doubt sleeping on the
Bro,
goods.
that's what Spencer like fucking typed after all that time he took.
Bro, is this in order too or no?
Yeah, it's in order.
Shiva show over the God of War.
Yes, he's the next Oki.
Oki's below the God of War. What?
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 Get out of here.
And why
Fuck
is
outta
Repo
here.
below Hockey when he stalemated him with Oki? That's crazy.
Because of some of the portrayal that Haki got. But anyways.
now, fellas,
It was a good stream though.
Oh, you're
It was
out?
dope.
yeah, I got to get on the train. I walked from fucking 14th Street to 42nd Street during the stream.
I mean, I guess we made your walk better. There's
I
that.
mean, look, I'm about to say I only walked because of the stream. Because if I got on the train early, I'd have been cut out.
Bro, peace, man. Glad that you got
don't catch COVID.
Hopefully you change your opinion, you know.
Like I said, my opinion never changed because Kanki didn't do anything. I still have Kanki under.
Even if he kills Kochi, you're gonna say he hasn't done anything, man. Even if he kills Riboku, he hasn't done anything.
No, he's not killing Riboku. But I still have Kanki under. I still have Kanki under Osen. I still have Kanki under Toe Mobile. I can put him equal to Yotanwa if you want, but you know what I'm saying. You don't think Yotanwa was that great, even though I think Yotanwa was great. But you know what I'm saying. He hasn't actually done enough for me to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's fucking.
I don't, but I feel you.
Like, not for nothing. I think if you give Moten enough men, he beats Kanki.
Oh my god. That's a hot take to say the least.
I'm not even gonna quote you anymore because like there's no point. You say all that. It's crazy. Okay, but
Like I said, if you give
you
them
gonna end
like
the stream
equal
soon,
amount of
Marcus?
numbers.
Or is it ended already? I don't know.
Nah, I'm still gonna talk about the Rido shit.
Oh, okay, bet. Before you start that, like if Ruboku and Osen or Kanki fight now, no armies, just they themselves fighting, so he can't really train oranges and shit. Maybe we give him oranges, I don't know. But they fight right now. Like, what diff would you give it?
I'm saying he's gonna mid diff him.
Why?
And that's with Kanki already killing Kocho and then getting caught surprise.
I'm talking about like right now, like straight up, like in a 1v1, they're both clean, no caught off guard, all that shit. What I meant to ask. I was surprised. You said mid diff. I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. Mid diff pick Kanki.
Probably like lower end of high diff to maybe upper mid.
So he gets caught off guard. It's a mid diff, but he catch full health. It's a lower high diff, upper mid diff. What? What is that scaling, bruh?
Because in the situation is gonna be a bad one, but it's gonna be like one that like fits Kanki's like fucking mindset, and he's gonna find a strategy that he might not have been able to find in a normal situation, and it like ends up working to his favor in a way. But at the same time, it's still bad odds, and then Riboku also outplays him.
Yes, ever. He's getting caught off guard in the bad situation, but it works out in this situation in a way. That just shows how GOAT Kanki is. Not that he worked out in this situation. He made it work out in this situation.
That doesn't mean you can make every situation work out. It's just something that's tailored to his thinking.
If it's so dire to the point that he was able to make it work out for him. Why would in a situation where he may have he's an even footing, not make something work for his advantage?
Because not every situation is the same, bro. Like you can use one strategy that like you can think a certain way and you could be really good at thinking that way, but if you're put in another situation where that way is irrelevant and it doesn't lead to victory, then of course you're going to be like a fish out of water.
So what situation like might be? Because I can't even think of one. I feel like anything he could do in that dire situation, he can probably still do it in that main situation.
Something where Riboku puts himself at risk to like destroy Kanki quickly, and then that gives Kanki an opportunity to like take advantage of that and like maybe try to kill him, but then Riboku reverses it or something. I don't know. Like in a normal battle, like Riboku can just use origins and grind him out, and like never have to put himself at risk. So Kanki like doesn't really have a chance. He just has to like engage with him like with tactics, and then he's just gonna get grinded out and dealt with.
The issue there is, man, I guess he easily understands origins.
That's a cap. That's a cap.
The barometer for understanding oceans is Ocean. He's doing it easily. So Kanki's 2 tiers below him in intellect, which is crazy. I don't think he's only intellect there, just in terms of overall general ability. I think Kanki has a fighter's chance in figuring it out as well.
Maybe, but still gonna be fucking destructive technique regardless.
Sleeping continues, man. I'll make a next time when this happens and Kosho gets destroyed and revoke his extreme diff. I'll make an intro calling you out.
All right, and I'll tell you, fucking state like an exact point, like fucking like show a recording or something. You're gonna be like, and I didn't want to go back. I couldn't find the moment.
Gets mid diff, lower mid diff, high diff. It could like okay, whatever. That's whatever. It's irrelevant. But go to. I'm done talking about this.
All
Niggas are never
right,
gonna agree.
but yeah. So with the Kanki army shit, I mean, I like this. It gives them more characterization. It's a relatable feel with they're bandits. They're kind of fucked up in the head, and they never really belonged anywhere. So you would expect something like this. Like this is a cliche trope, but it does humanize them, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. Like I really like just the way they're thinking because it's always something like I said, just brought up. Like why are they still with this nigga? Why are they always going through the shit? And I kind of like to understand their reasoning for doing it,
And
especially a guy
I
like
just like the trope of like someone being insane, but he's also very charming, and you're like, well, damn, like it's just so unpredictable. It's so thrilling. Like,
yeah,
like
kind of like
I just like that trope, like being insane enough to like revel in that, and you just fuck with the guy and you just war with him and shit.
yeah. It highlighted Kanki's charisma even more. Like they just follow him just basically off they already got what they wanted. They got their fill, but they're still very charmed by him, even years into this. People like a lot of hardship into this, and they're still the same way they were charmed in the beginning. Maybe even more now because they're even more enthralled with his desire to keep fighting. So it was dope.
I wouldn't say maybe even more now,
But it's
because everyone's
why
kind of
not?
distraught. Well, maybe for Raido.
That's what okay. If anything, you just write out because he's like he
And
kept
even
talking
then,
about
Raido kind of had like like we talked about, like he kind of had some build up to this. Obviously, not that much because he's like a side character. But at the beginning, like he was supposedly the worrywart, and then Kanki himself like told him, "Don't worry so much." And like the fact that like Kanki himself told him that, it probably like hit home with him. And then even after that, like Kokyo Hills, even then he was questioning him. So I bet Raido kind of felt like shit, especially with like when he was trying to badmouth the Hashin unit, like Kanki will never see y'all like he sees us. So I think like he kind of went through some revelation where he's like, Kanki himself felt the need to tell me this, and even after that, I still like didn't trust him. So I'm kind of a fucking punk for that, and how I need to step up my game, especially when I was like punking the Haishin unit and trying to act like I'm a big man, like I have to be the man that I'm hyping myself up to be, and that kind of like boosted his motivation, and now he's a different person. He's not the worry wart anymore, and I think that's pretty cool. It definitely
yeah,
made me like him more.
for sure. Yeah, like I going back to what I was saying about the fact that he's even crazier now makes him even more enthralled in him. Isn't that the best? And I think that kind of maybe like the others didn't say anything, but it kind of resonated, in my opinion. It kind of resonated with them as well. Maybe not Marin, but the rest as well. So maybe they're like kind of maybe share a bit of the feeling as well. And he also garnered to what they were thinking was that we're gonna ask him after. So that's a big red flag. Like they were saying a death flag, but I hope maybe one or two of them gets to ask him that after Kanki survives this.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most interesting part of the chapter. Just getting clarification that Kanki's gonna get asked about what his character actually is. It really like gets you thinking like, damn, like death flags and shit. And even if not, like just interesting scenario where we'll learn more about him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
what do you think next chapter is gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be delving in deep into what's happening, or there's gonna be another setup chapter to where we kind of get what Kanki thinks of the situation and Kocho's plan and all that shit?
I think like I don't think a crazy amount of progression is gonna happen. I feel like maybe like we'll get the Haitian unit. They're gonna go and help Kanki's army, and then just like thoughts on just hints basically. Like Coach was like, we're gonna do this and this, and like we're gonna get some of the matchups, and we might get a hint to like what the start of his plan is, and we're gonna get like some hint to Kanki, like we're gonna have like more dialogue to talk about what Kanki's plan actually is. But like I said, it's just gonna be a hint. So we got like some
Yeah.
decent progression, but not too much. But it'll just be interesting overall.
Well, what I think is gonna happen is I agree with you. Osa's army is gonna be sent over, and then they're gonna no Osa's army, Shin's army, and they're gonna have a moment. Maybe it's just sent to the left wing to aid Ohan, and Ohan and him are gonna talk about what the plan of Kanki is, while not actually getting any info from Kanki. 'Cause I feel like this plan will be a surprise till the end, and we're also gonna have information about Kocho, and not just Kocho. Kind of like get a bit more of like how much men his other generals are leading and all that shit. His characterization of the entire army before we start the battle the following chapter.
Yeah, you get some hype for his guys.
Yeah.
Maybe Shin and Ohan have an interesting discussion about Kanki because Ohan did say he's nothing but a bandit, so could be some interesting dialogue there.
Bandit at 6GG, man. Rose to the top. Speaking of that, him being 6GG, because it's weird, because what's his name? Shin was saying we gotta be 6GGs before him in that Kokyo Hill thing, which didn't happen. But then Kyokai said just try to work to be on the same level as him, which is becoming a 6GG as well.
Yeah.
So like, do you think there's gonna be a moment in where Kanki and Shin are both 6GGs together, or is that like not gonna
Nah.
happen?
I just think Riboku's gonna, foil his plans.
Crazy how much hype it both gets from the boys, man. Great.
It's
When
almost like
when
he deserves it.
when they said like, is this like they keep hinting, is this man on the same level as Riboku? But it's 2 tiers below. That's crazy. He gives me
Did not
different.
keep hinting that. It was said
I
once
mean,
as a question with context where we know you can't put too much stock into that.
I mean, not really like that big of a context. Context still gave room for like people to say what I'm saying.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, you even agreed with me when we did
Well,
the Kanki discussion, where this situation where the Haishin unit is like baiting Kisha, it's like tailor made to make him come out as web. Because that was the whole reason why Kinmo questioned it. He was like, it was hard for Riboku to force Kisha out of the web, but now Kanki's doing it so easily. Is he actually on the same level as him? Like that was his whole
I
basis
agree
for
with
it.
you that if like there's context with it, but like I feel like Hara does this all the time where he just hints at shit, and like even though you might disagree with it, it's still a hint in my opinion, and it's like just like a build up to the eventual clash.
Well, yeah,
Especially,
he's playing with the idea, but at the end
yeah,
of the day, I still think Riboku's gonna show he's like noticeably better. It's not gonna be like, well, it could have gone either way. Maybe he's actually better. I don't think it's gonna be like that at all.
okay, man. Shall see.
I mean, that was the case with Osen and Riboku. It's kind of like up in the air, even though I'm.
That's exactly. That's what I don't know if it's gonna be that close because that's just like that was not even really because I think that it might be that close because like when I'm looking back at it, maybe I have to reread the arc again. In every situation, I just feel like Austin was on top. Austin was just like sussing him out and everything he did, even his like almost everything he did. He had like even if it's not like completely out thinking what the guy was doing, he had some else that kind of just ended up being better. It was just like throughout the whole battle. This dude pulls
Yeah,
out Origin, and the next thing you know, he load this Origin's like, what?
I
This is the
mean,
biggest.
yeah, I don't even agree with Twale about like the Mako thing being Osen outsmarted. Like even
Yeah,
Hara like went out of his way to make an excuse for Osen with what Riboku said, and even then, I think Osen had the way better strategy,
exactly.
and he just
That's
got
what I was
very
calling out.
unlucky. And then other than that, like Riboku, he didn't like put as much stock into the new gen getting better as Osen did, which I
Yeah,
think is downside on him. But he did get through joints, and Osen didn't predict that, so that's big on for Riboku. And then he did pincer him, but it didn't lead to much, and it kind of was like implied that Olsen predicted in a sense.
What's the pincer you're talking about when Bananji and them came?
Yeah.
But wasn't that like also kind of an excuse for Osen? 'Cause how the fuck did that guy lose track of Bananji? That was weird.
Yeah, and even then, like, it was just weird because 10 didn't account for it either.
Kind of, in
And
your opinion, gave him portrayal because he was able to 2v1 these niggas.
yep. And yeah, like even weirder, like with Gyon, for example, like he wasn't supposed to die, and like as if you're a Boku, you don't predict he randomly dies like that. So if Gyon and Bananji are there,
It's
then
over.
yeah, like you expect either it's over, so Osen would like plan around that differently, or just the Haishin unit wouldn't pincer as quickly, so Osen has more leeway to get more damage in. So it's just like differing scenarios, or you can kind of like make excuses and shit.
What parts were you like, in your opinion, you're like, oh damn, this guy Reboku has shown multiple times he's on the same level as Osen. Like, because I'm looking at that and I agree with you. The joints, him outplaying the joints, him having some like pincers, but every time it seems like I was going back to what I said, Osen had answers for it. I think it was like pretty clear Osen was better than him. But like I could see like, and that was like a battle which involved like a lot of other players, like such monsters like Banaji, Gyoen, CGR, Akko, Ohan, Shin, and all that shit. So it kind of didn't seem like Osen and Riboku were doing like that much for the majority of the time.
Yeah, well, the biggest takeaway is that when they were actually clashing, it was relatively equal. Though Riboku
Yeah,
did have an advantage, and Osen did kind of waste his opportunity with the crane formation. And at the end of the day, like Osen was getting the better of that exchange because Shuri was actually pulling up to his HQ, just Hoken showed up.
yeah,
So, like, I mean, I'm not gonna say they're equal, but that shows that they're relative. Even though Riboku had advantage, I mean, he was putting up a good fight.
yeah. Because
But
I kind of see it going like the reason I bring this up is like because especially if it's Kanki, because I don't know if it's Kanki and Riboku. Clash would just be Kanki and Riboku. If it involves the Haishin unit and that's a good point I thought of. If it involves the Haishin unit and like the Ohan unit or something, that fight is gonna be a lot closer than we may think. Because it has MC plot with it, same way Olsen had MC plot with it as well, and he also had like a lot of good people on their side. If it's just Kanki and Riboku themselves, which I doubt, I kind of can see it just being like a like you kind of might need to give Riboku like a good dub, and Kanki might just lose.
but
Like
that it's also interesting because what would Kanki do then? Would he try to fuck over the Haishin unit and Ohan's unit? Like try to use
uh,
them as bait and escape?
either way, yeah, that'll be interesting. But if they're with him, I feel like that's gonna be interesting because I don't think he's gonna sacrifice them because he might already realize that the shit that he does with other people might not really work on Riboku. He's gonna like, take a leaf out of Osa's book and utilize them well. And even maybe not even intentionally, they might just surprise people in bad situation and they surprise him. But either way, it works out for him. And the thing is though, the reason I brought up the Osa and Riboku shit, I feel like it's gonna be something similar to the point where they flipped, where it's like Riboku, the one that seems to be like winning almost every exchange, but then they're always shown to be relative. That's how I see it. I don't think there's gonna be like a domination in any one point.
Well, I
Like
don't,
I,
I
Damn,
don't.
y'all still going?
Yeah, we're
yeah,
still going. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like they're facing each other and it's like a traditional battle. I don't think there's gonna be like a lot of maneuvering in it. I just think it's gonna be like a few big plays because Riboku caught him off guard and like you can't really like change up the formations. And it's just gonna be like a battle of strategy mostly. It's not gonna be like a battle of tactics.
yeah. Do you see that the Haishin unit being involved or no? Because that kind of changes a lot. Because if they are involved, was Riboku having like Bananji and shit, then definitely the fight will be closer than low end of high def or whatever. Just because like
I could
MC
see
plot.
it. But then if Banaji comes, like you would think Shibasha would come too. So then that
Yo,
might
if Shiba show comes, yo,
Question:
Shibasha will come.
Are y'all
rip to
saying
my
that this
boy.
fight happens this arc or next arc?
Hopefully next arc.
I think it
Yeah, I was
happens
about to
this
say
arc.
because
I
nah,
want it to happen. This like I can see that happening, but like I think it's just way too early for Conky just
I,
to be made 60G and lose after.
I was say I think Conky's about to, like I said, I think Conky's gonna beat Kocho. He's gonna lose a significant portion of his army, right? Like Draco's been saying, they're gonna just throw more men his way, and he's gonna be mad hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I just did this shit. Can't nobody stop me. And then that's when Raboku comes. Because like there has to be a time for them, like for Zhao to call Raboku back in. Because they're still not fucking with him yet.
Whoa, what about this? Yeah, going back to what you're saying, what if he gets his mad hype of being the hero of this effort, taking these two cities by beating Kocho? and then what they do next arc is make him the commander in chief with the Haitian unit in them versus Uboku, whatever. And that's where he loses, which is the original thought of what we thought was gonna happen. But that would be cool because that'll be like he just loses his own campaign, which like can lead to him fleeing or being like in trouble or whatever.
See, this is what I think is gonna happen. I think Kanki positioned himself towards the right on purpose because of Riboku. Because he could have done the same thing and just been on the left, like farthest away. So at that point, like there's no risk of Riboku cutting in. But I think he wants Riboku to cut in because he thinks that Riboku, he kind of knows like what's gonna happen if Kocho decides to engage. He doesn't know for sure that Kocho will engage, but after he gets the word, if he can get the word fast enough, we don't know. Maybe like birds happen or something. Like if he gets the word, or if he accounts for the possibility and like gets in close, like that's not really what was implied with the talk, but let's like go the hypothetical here. If that happens, then maybe Kanki knows Riboku will come in and he'll try to utilize the weakness. And then he, like what Jericho was saying, he knows that people know his weakness. So he's like, I want Riboku to come in because he thinks he knows my weakness and I'm going to use that against them. And then it ends up backfiring at the end. But he still gets Kocho before that happens.
Yeah, that'll be sick because like the entire thing, not even like not people say I'm going for the head, and people think, oh, he's probably going for coach. He's not even going for coach. He's going for Revoke. That'll be dope. He's like a step ahead, step
I
above that
honestly
nigga.
think
That'd be dope. I
that
don't
would
think
be that would be stupid as fuck. Why would he want Revoku to come with a whole nother army?
Kanki's that dude, though. He was
Like that thing, no, nigga, if that happens, then his army is definitely getting wiped out, nigga.
Well, the thing is, Riboku isn't going to be coming with that many men because he wants to get there ASAP, like as soon as possible. So he's going to come with like...
So we know Reboku got the fastest cavalry, but nigga, we got to stop underestimating how fast Zao horses are. Like, on shit. Like real shit. Like,
regardless, like there's still a limit. He's going to bring like a small amount of men, maybe 10k or something, so he can get there ASAP, maybe even 5k. And it's just going to... He's going to get there ASAP and, you know, it's just going to happen. Yeah. That would be a cool scenario, though.
He's bringing more than 10k. If Reboku pop up, he's bringing more than 10k. But it's just why would Kanki want more niggas on him than necessary? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, why would that be the plan? Yeah, I'm gonna get Reboku to come here, so now I gotta fight Kocho and Reboku. That
all right, but here's what you said. You said if he kills Kocho but loses a lot of his men, then it's kind of like murky how much of a W that is. But if he loses most of his men and he kills Kocho and Riboku, then you can't deny that's a W.
But like I said, no, my dub for Kanki is he kills Kocho and takes the 2 cities. That's my dub for Kanki. You know what I'm saying? Him just killing Kocho. Well, I mean, I guess at this point it's whatever. But yeah, that was
Kocho
my win.
In these odds is like a big dub boss man. And look, either way, if he doesn't personally take the cities or not, it's still like he takes some.
No, because I expect him to win is why I don't consider it a big dub. Again, I'm still under the impression that Kocho is stupid for doing this. So that like maybe that's my fault. But like still, it's like.
But your expectations are purely based on plot, nothing else. So I don't really understand how you could use that against them.
Nah, going back to what you're saying, like Kanki's that nigga, like. The plot is
going back to what you're saying about like I don't like Revoke.
Not better than Ocean.
The situation is pretty bad, so I don't know if he comes now, but maybe he defeats Kocho and comes later. Either way, because like it has a lot to do with like the logistics of things, him hearing it quick enough. But either way, if like let's say like they have another campaign and homie brings Shiba Show in versus Kanki, that would be insane. Even if Kanki takes the L, I just want to see Shiba Show in action. You know, that'd just be crazy.
I would be crazy, but at the end of the day, I'm still of the belief that this is going to end up backfiring overall. So to me, if Riboku doesn't show up, then that just means
Kanki, is true. You're right,
Kanki bit more than you can chew, and Kocho gets the last laugh somehow.
That would be embarrassing.
Not really the last laugh, but you know, like Kanki underestimates Kocho. He sends Zeno, and he's like, my grand plan. Zeno's going to 1v1 Kocho, and he gets one shot, and he's like, oh, shit.
Maybe that's what happens to Raito.
Yo, that might actually happen to him. That's wild.
Yeah. Raito just goes up and gets Rabunkun.
That can't happen. You understand why that can't happen?
Why can't that happen?
Like, because if Kanki fresh after becoming a 6GG, goes out, puts his men in bad terrain situation, then baits out Kocho just to get smacked. My niggas, that's like anti-hype. That's like, yo, we could have made Hecky a fucking 6GG and it would have been better.
What? I mean, shit backfiring is nothing wrong with that as long as, you know, he had a good reason to think Kocho would fall for it, but then Kocho is just that impressive. I mean, I don't see a problem with that.
What do you think about it backfiring and him losing 60% of his like 60? Wow, almost choked on something. I don't know what I choked on, but
That's just haram, brother.
I don't know what that is. Like my throat just got tight for some reason. 60,
Nigga choking on his spit.
We've been talking too
maybe it
long,
was just
building up
dry.
mucus.
60% of his like 60K. He loses like 50, 60K. Whatever. That's the backfiring thing, which basically hella cripples him. Would
Well,
that be
I
good enough
already
for you?
told you. I think it's kind of like bad writing if the bad thing isn't a bad thing overall. Like
Isn't
it would just be
bad to lose 60K?
yeah, but it's bad. But if it leads to, you know, killing Kocho and it's worth overall, then that's not technically a bad thing.
It could just be like the double-edged sword where like you can't really control
It's
Kanki,
only
so him
bad.
fighting 80K versus 20. Yeah, but never mind. You're right. I think the bad thing has to be bigger than this.
It's only bad if he loses his men. If like I said, if Zhao were to keep upwards of 100K, upwards of 130K, but they lose Kocho, and we don't take the cities, but Kanki loses a bulk of his army, then yeah, that's bad for Kanki. Even if Kanki survives, it's like, my nigga, why? You know what I'm saying? That's all anybody's ever gonna say is why? Why did you do that? It's only a good thing if it works. Nobody's gonna question it if it works. But if he fails, it's just why.
Why you do this? Why you do this?
All right,
But yeah,
that's what I have to say. My throat hurts from talking all day.
yeah, I think that's a good spot to end it. Hopefully, spoilers come today, actually, or maybe even tomorrow. They could come soon.
That'd be crazy. I think they come Mondays, but like this, the spoilers for it came out Monday and chapter came out Saturday, man. Suscan's calling you out.
You know,
Every
I
quick one.
don't actually mind that release, to be honest. Well, in other scenarios, because I wanted to talk about this chapter earlier. But generally, I don't mind that we get spoilers, and then that's kind of enough content because we know the gist of the chapter. And then when we get the actual chapter, it's like still fresh because there's like more intricate details to talk about. And then soon after we get the spoilers, it's kind of like a nice release schedule in my opinion. But I wanted to talk about this chapter sooner, so it kind of sucked.
I hear you. You were kind of complaining about it, but I guess change of heart.
No, I was,
When did
like
the chapter come out? Because I only noticed it when I was at work.
Today 11.
Oh yeah, no. I didn't see that shit until like 1 o'clock, something like that, like 12:30, something like that.
nah, there is no change of heart, Drake. Well, like I said, for this situation, I didn't like it. Generally, I like it.
Oh, okay. Bet.
But yeah,
So you saying I just like it now for this situation as well.
yeah, no, I want to talk about this chapter sooner. I
Like
wanted
what?
I wanted Tone to be in here. I wanted to see what he
I
had to
wanted
say.
Tone to be here so bad, bro. That dude
Yo,
was like,
speaking of this guy, he's typing right now.
nigga, just type it.
Oh no.
Get in the chat, nigga.
This nigga right here, man. I was like straight like at the beginning. Well, as soon as I read that chapter, the first
Like,
thing I thought about was him, bro. Everything he said last chapter, something else happened.
He had the perfect reaction too. Just smiling face. Oh man. Yep.
but
Oh man
not,
is right,
for
motherfucker.
nothing. We have to wait until they get into the actual fight. Because if they get into the actual fighting and they don't get any like further updates from Kanki, and yeah, I can see them running, bro. Them niggas will blow the whistle if it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, but we'll see. I don't.
Depends on how long. It all depends on how long Kanki leaves them to their own devices.
Yeah, if it's like if they're literally about to die, then I'm sure they'll run away. Because like I said, even no matter how smart someone is, if it seems like there's no possible chance, like you're not just gonna be like, well, he's so smart that he's gonna get us out of this.
I'm about to say they're banking on Kanki doing something, one of his unpredictable plans and shit, right?
Yeah.
And we was told, or he was told, that he can't go after civilians. So he has to do something else to cause his level of mayhem and shit on the battlefield. So they're banking on him doing that. But if he don't come through with that, they're gonna dip, bro.
Depends on the exact timing, but yeah, I agree with the general idea. But yeah, I think I'll just end it here. I don't know if I want Tone to come over and then we'll have another like 30 minutes of discussion. I don't know if I'm down for that, but we might do a part 2 to this. We'll see Tone's thoughts. Mark Kansad.
I'm down.
But yeah, I'll end it at that. Draco, you wanna give a little cocky soliloquy, send off?
Listen, in the beginning of this chapter, I talked about how dudes keep doubting, even like if the shit's right in front of them. Like I went from saying benefit of doubt, they were doubting then made sense. Now it's becoming manga facts. They're still doubting. We're talking about the future of this arc and what might happen to Kanki, and people are still doubting, saying, "Hey, it might not be that impressive." Like the mindset that people have on Kanki is crazy to me. They can't just like let this nigga live. Maybe I'm a part of it the way I hype him, but I don't think that's the case. But in the future, we're gonna see these next couple chapters. I'm just hoping, like the way I've been talking, I'm just hoping it goes my way, because I know these niggas are gonna come like roast me if it like goes the other way. So I'm just hoping that's what happens. Thanks for tuning in. These chapter discussions are dope. Glad to be part of them. Thanks for having me in it.
I just hope you know that I already stopped the recording. There was no chance in hell that I was gonna fucking let the people hear that blasphemy. I just hope you know that.
You're a bitch, dog. I was actually talking.
You thought you was about to get your word out. That's funny.
It didn't even really feel that. It didn't even really feel that good. I was kind of tired, so I didn't really have much in it.
Because ain't nobody saying Kanki wasn't impressive. He said it's not a dub, nigga.